Well.
Actually, let's do this. We'll get my old intro.
The hell are you supposed to be?
I'm vengeance.
All right, that's better. Told you I will be back. Told you, and I'm in. All right, man. Happy Sunday. Hope you all having a good evening. Really. I really hope you are. I told you I'll be back, and so yeah, I'm back. All right, man. Yo, the Grassy's in the house tonight. Yeah, this is what we're talking about. Before I pull this up, we're talking about Grace Randolph. Me and Blinded did our own spoiler review earlier today, about 5 hours ago. All right, you could check that out if you want. It's up to you. But next time we're gonna do a review on Grace Randolph's review of Batman Cape Crusader. The Grassy Old Friend, I have no idea because I haven't watched this yet. I have no idea. I'm going in fresh. She might spoil it. I don't know. So I'm just gonna warn you ahead of time. Spoilers. It's a 20-minute stream, not stream video. Stream, not. I'm so stupid. Okay, a 20-minute video. Okay. Blinded, I don't know where Blinded is. He might be listening. He might come on. Sometimes Blinded, he takes his time. All right. So before we get into this, make sure to like, share, subscribe, and comment below, please. All right. Do all that. I wonder where season 2 will land. Next year, probably. Next year. I say next year. All right. But cliffhanger of an ending. Two-Face is dead. They killed off Harvey Dent. Dang. Okay, I don't know. I really don't know if the grass if Blind is coming on. We'll see. Blind will come on when he can say available too. Red, I hope you're in the chat, buddy. Or am I gonna see Chertoff? Is Chertoff gonna enter the chat? Amazon would be stupid. If not, just if Amazon is not picking it up, just have it back on Warner Brothers. Warner Brothers just have it on their channels. All right. You guys hate me. Yeah, I do hate you. No, I'm kidding. All right. All right. Here's my freaking. Here we go. We'll see if Blinded comes on. All right. 20 minutes long, this video. I'll cut out the banner so you can see better. 20 minutes long. 2047. And he will come in if he's available. He'll come in. We'll see. We'll see what I should say. All right.
Batman, the animated series, continues to cast a very long shadow to this day. Deservedly so. What a show. Not only was it incredibly well done, but along with the spin-offs, Superman and Justice League.
Is it really a spin-off? Are they really spin-offs? Yeah, they're in the same universe, but Superman did not first appear in the animation Batman animated series though. So is it really a spin-off? Okay. And then he got his own show. I don't okay, because I don't remember Superman appearing in the Batman animated series first, then he gets his own show, actually. Yeah, same universe, but is it a spin-off technically? I don't think so. Justice League, yeah, I guess it's a spin-off of all that stuff, of course. Now also, yeah, but also Batman and Superman did have crossovers time to time. That's true. That's true. But if I remember correctly, Superman never appeared in a Batman episode, then got a spin-off. I could be wrong, but that's what I remember from my memory, from what I remember. Somebody could correct me on that. But there have been crossovers, that's true. And Justice League is technically a spin-off, and Batman Beyond is in the same universe, it's just in the future. Yeah, let's go. Okay.
It created many of the DC fans that exist today, like myself. And of course, it's left a lasting legacy from the incredible voice work by Kevin.
Yeah, true. Now where's Blinded? Blinded, where are you, buddy? This is true. This is all very, very true. All right, let's continue.
Conroy.
Mark Hamill, Kevin Conroy, which I felt like this Batman was a mix of Robert Pattinson and Kevin Conroy's Batman into one. Now we don't know what Mark Hamill like. I can't compare the Joker to Mark Hamill's Joker, obviously, because we only see the Joker for a few seconds at the end of the season, and you only hear him say one word. Basically, is perfection. Perfection. That's it. Let's continue on.
And Mark Hamill to giving the world Harley Quinn.
Here we go. Here's my sidekick, Blind and Braille.
What's up, guys?
What's up? What's up, Blind? Had a good little break from earlier today.
Yeah, I was playing Alan Wake.
Oh, nice, nice.
Oh, by the way, we got some a look at The Last of Us
I know.
season 2.
I'll probably make a video on it tomorrow. Pictures, the slideshow pictures, and I'll probably make a video on it tomorrow. Shut up, Fred. You know I'm just roasting you, buddy. We roast you, buddy.
Oh, man.
But yeah, I saw the pictures of Last of Us season 2. Yeah, Warner
Yes.
Brothers is coming out with their Max stuff. They're releasing all their stuff to like right now.
Yeah. For I guess also what we're getting later this year and next year.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish they really would stop comparing the two because they're not really comparable. That's true. That's true.
Well, I mean, the comparisons, even though Paul Dini's not writing this, people are gonna compare it just because it is Bruce Timm. That's why I think people are making the comparison, but yeah.
No one can rush Super Friends Justice League Unlimited.
No, yeah, obviously. But because it's, I mean, Bruce Timm, I think that's why people are making
Well,
the
yeah, Bruce
comparison.
Timm is on. Yeah, he's on.
Yeah, I mean, and he's talked about the differences. He also talked about the influences of the show, and yeah, you can see that a lot more. It's like inspired by like the gangster movies of like the 30s and the Universal monster movies and
yeah.
the obviously, and then mix it all together with the film noir stuff. So yeah, I mean, it's very, it makes sense. I mean, Grace enjoyed the show, to be fair.
I could tell she enjoyed it, but the tone of her voice right away, I could tell.
I think she's just sort of skeptical because, the thing is, I'm not seeing as much as, the anti-woke people go after the show. Obviously, they're pointing out the fact that, oh, yeah, it's gender bent and all this stuff. But outside of that, I don't see how you can complain about the show other than the pacing and the tone, and maybe it's not for you. But this is pretty like there's a lot of obscure Batman references, and if you are a Batman fan for sure, you're going to at least appreciate it, even if this is not like your favorite show. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's a little bit weird.
Does she spoil in this review? Just let you know. Let me know. She doesn't. She hasn't
No,
come with
she
a spoiler.
doesn't spoil. She didn't spoil. The only like spoiler, I guess, is like alluding to Bullock being more of a villain.
Yeah, okay,
That's
because
about it.
she hasn't done a video on spoiling this show or like a stream,
No, she
right?
did. She did spoil it for some people who didn't show. If you don't know, spoilers, Joker's in the show. He's at the ending, and she put that in
Yeah.
the title of her video. And she also counted him as a villain, which I don't think you should count because it's only like a couple of seconds we see him, and he doesn't have any interactions. And I think that the villains are really, you should rank them according to the episode, right?
Oh, the villains.
Not because they just appear.
The villains is the spoiler show, the spoiler aspect. I thought she did like a whole a review of this whole a
No, she
spoiler
didn't
review of
she
the show.
didn't do a spoiler review. She just
Oh,
did a
okay.
spoiler of the villains. And so
Yep.
yeah, if you didn't know Joker was in the show, then if you just looked at the title, then
This
you
is
got spoiled.
that's her list she's talking about, right? The rankings.
Yeah, the villain ranking list. Yeah, I didn't agree with putting Joker on the list. It's not really fair to put Joker on the list.
Yeah, Joker should be ineligible right now.
Yeah, until next season. Like, let's actually see an episode with him
Yeah.
because for all we know, he could just be the worst interpretation of Joker. Like, you never
Yeah.
know, right? So
Where did she put him, by the way?
she put him at, I think, at number two or three. It was
Why?
pretty high.
Why was she like? He, that's
Yeah,
just
you
kind of
barely
ridiculous.
see him. Like, she's just like, oh yeah, this Joker's like interesting and got the
So
toxin
who's
going
number
on, and
one? Who's
that's
number
why.
one? Who's number one?
I think it's Two-Face or Clayface. I'm not sure. I have to go back and look. Let me just pull
Joker
it
should
up right
not be
now.
Joker should not be eligible.
No, yeah, I don't think it's fair to put Joker on the list. She put it on the list, and people were pointing out, as I was saying, like that's a spoiler, just to. But yeah,
Well,
let me see.
Praying Two Face is
Yeah,
spoiler.
number one was Clayface.
Clayface. Praying
Number two was Joker. Number three was Catwoman. Number four was Flask. I guess she put Flask and Bullock on the same. Then Gentleman Ghost and Nocturna at number 6. 7 was Penguin. 8 was Two-Face. And 9 was Firebug. 11 was the guy who I can't pronounce. I fuck that word, by the way. And
which guy?
12 is, huh?
Which guy you kept it now?
You know the guy
Onomatopoeia?
who, yeah, Automatopoeia. Jesus Christ. Um, yeah, Harley Quinn at number 12, and that's it. Harley Quinn is not her. She doesn't like this interpretation, which,
This
yeah,
is
if
a
you're a Harley Quinn fan, you probably won't like this interpretation, but I will say I think it's a little bit more interesting.
this is not a good list.
Uh, this is not my ranking for sure, but
Not even close to mine.
Harley Quinn, like I feel like if you are a fan of the original Harley Quinn from the animated series, yeah, this is totally different. Like this is not even close. And
Yeah, but you have to understand.
but I
You have,
think it has some good ideas of what they could do with Harley Quinn
but you have to understand. Not
on
Harley
her
character.
own.
Yeah, we have to understand. Harley Quinn lately in the comics has been strayed away from the Joker stuff. Like,
Yeah,
like
I'm not a big fan of the Harley Quinn
yeah.
that's currently going on because I think it like okay, another thing is
Learn
too
a
I'm
lot,
not the biggest
Degrassi.
fan of
I sent you a link, by
yeah,
the way.
well her personalities were I mean pretty muted. I like her being like jokey as a psychiatrist. I don't know. I never like she just seemed like a bubbly kind of person, not so much a jokey character. Um and I like that she was a serious kind of villain who was a bit of a sadistic person, right?
Yeah, she always had that
Like
in
she
her.
has like a more darker sense of humor
Where,
as her,
where
as Harley Quinn.
I, I, I guess it's just because they don't want the Joker. I guess they're just trying to stay away from the Joker Harley Quinn relationship because it is a
Yeah.
abusive relationship, and maybe they don't want to go there in this
I
universe.
think they just want to do something
Yeah,
different.
Yeah, yeah,
And Joker, if they're going to really pull from Golden Age and Silver Age, then
yeah.
yeah, it
Which
doesn't make
Harley
sense to
Quinn
do
was never
Joker and
in,
Harley.
right? Because Harley Quinn was
Yeah,
never in those ages. Joker was, but Harley Quinn was from. Well, she's mentioned in this video, the animated series.
yeah, and on top of that too, the show is trying to do stuff different from the animated
Yeah,
series.
yeah,
Like it's very clear, like that they are taking characters who obviously appeared in that show, duh, because they're major villains. But at the same time, they're trying to put like a different spin on them a little bit
hmm
without it being like super drastic. But Harley Quinn, I Harley Quinn currently, I'm not a fan of the Harley Quinn show. I think it's a little too
I don't
much in
watch
my
it honestly.
opinion. Yeah, I tried watching it because my friend was like, "Hey, you should watch it. It's on Netflix now." I watched like a couple of episodes and it's really not for me. It's just like it's kind of like okay, we kind of seen this kind of like
hmm
Family Guy, Rick and Morty stuff. I'm kind of over that stuff, and Harley Quinn, I don't think is all that great in the show, and I think she's very reflective of what Harley Quinn is currently is once they got away from the Joker stuff, and that stuff was interesting, but for some reason people were like, well, it's bad, and well, that's the point. It's bad, it's abusive, right? And that's the Joker. The Joker is a villain, and Harley Quinn is also a villain because she feeds into that. And she's a
Yeah,
groupie. That's what she is. So, and for some reason they want to like make her empowering. She's a fucking Batman villain. I never understood that. It's like I think the show actually does a better job at making
they
her
want to make her
stand
strong.
alone.
They want to make her a strong, independent villain, and not right
Yeah,
instead of her being
but it's
coming
stupid because
instead of
she's not even a villain anymore. She's an anti-hero.
kind of yeah, basically.
Yeah, and that's the part that I'm not a fan of. Like she rarely interacts with Batman in the comics now, and to be honest, I mean, yeah, Paul Dini did his I'm pretty sure he wrote the Batman Harley Quinn story in the comic. It was like a standalone story. But I mean, after all of that, and then obviously had Mad Love, and
Yeah,
I don't know, Harley Quinn. I don't. There's not. It's almost like they don't know what to do with the character, and the character is obviously now way popular with almost
Finbar
every
streaming.
iteration
Finbar's not streaming.
on his channel. He's not streaming on his channel. He's probably streaming. You mean on like Tony stream?
I don't see Tony live right now.
Yeah, I don't know what he's talking about.
The, the heck is he talking about? Frog Tony? No.
Yeah, but anyway, Finbar's not streaming. I mean,
Yeah, neither
I
is
have
Tony.
notifications on his sub, so on his channel.
Yeah, stop lying, buddy. It's like the Ventura Brothers with DC characters. I love it. Yeah, but
Yeah,
like,
it's not for me. It definitely. I mean, it's got multiple seasons, so it clearly has fans. But I don't know. I'm not. And also in the Suicide Squad game, they also try to play that Harley Quinn, Poison Ivy stuff too, and
Bunch
that
Cast.
game was dog shit. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know why. If anything, this show did Harley Quinn a lot better than a lot of other interpretations recently, which I'm sure may be controversial, but I mean, yeah, maybe outside the look and the personalities being somewhat switched,
Oh, yeah, he is
she
Finbar from Bunch
she
Cast.
yeah, I mean the thing is there is a Batman villain who's already is a psychologist or to some degree,
hmm
which is Scarecrow, and they rarely play up that angle
I know,
of the
right?
character. Sometimes they do, but sometimes they don't. So it's kind of cool to actually see that in this episode with Harley Quinn, that she's kind of like using her victims and doing a deep dive on them and trying to like make them feel bad for what they're doing, right? And like humiliate them. I like that aspect. But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I do too. I like that too. I love that actual aspect because
Yeah, I
cause
think it's something they should
they're
use
snobbish, they
more.
look down. They're snobbish and they look down at everybody else. So it's kind of like making them down to their level. Punish
Yeah.
like I like that. I mean, maybe it's not ideal for everybody if they're Like
And how
there's
she
sometimes
collected her victim too. That was also like, they were patients of
you know
her, and it's like
you,
she's kind of,
you know how me
abusing them in that
sometimes.
sense.
Sometimes I like sometimes with Batman, me specifically. I talk this about all the time on my streams. Most of the time, I like to say truth sometimes to the Batman lore, but
Hmm.
if it's good, I'm allowed to
Yeah.
I can give it a pass. Like,
Yeah, I think that's with every, because here's the thing, right? I mean, Batman as a character has 80 years of
of
storytelling.
yeah,
But if you really think about it, some of the best or the most, or let's just say the best ideas of Batman, it's not like they were introduced right in the first comic. Sometimes those ideas came years later, right? I mean, Robin came before Gotham City. Like
yeah,
I think people have to also remember that like every time a writer picks up the character, it's their take on the character. And I feel like it's okay that they bring new ideas, especially if it does fit or align with the character. Like if it's like maybe even if it is too extreme, right? If it is good and it comment, it does something with the character in an interesting way, then yeah, I'll give it a pass. But you can't just take a character and kind of just, I don't know, do something crazy and it doesn't really make sense. Like I'll give you a good example of this. Donny Cates. Donny Cates is a pretty good writer. I think his interpretation of Venom was interesting. I mean, it's very popular, and now we're seeing Null and all this stuff everywhere outside of the
mhm,
comics, right? I mean, Spider-Man 2
yeah,
took some influences from his comic, right? But when he took over the Hulk, he turned like the Hulk into this like spaceship that was being piloted by Bruce Banner, and you're like, none of this makes any sense, and we're just coming off of a run that was already very in depth with Hulk's character. So, yeah, I think it's okay to do extreme things, but it has to make sense. Like Superior Spider-Man, I feel like that
mhm,
made sense. Even though, yeah, it's Dr. Octopus in Peter's body being a hero sounds really weird and out there, but it actually works. And people actually liked it. I mean, people at the time
it
were
was
didn't
successful.
like it,
Yeah, it
but
was. It did.
yeah,
Like,
eventually it became successful. So
oh, we gotta say this. DC's killed with animation. Looks like
yeah,
Marvel's killing. Look, both companies right now look like they're doing well with animation. Like,
yeah, we were talking about that.
yeah,
I mean,
um,
yeah, we'll have to see with Spider-Man and
and
Marvel
yeah,
Zombie, but they are also
yeah, and
different too.
also yeah, Creature Commandos looks good. So yeah,
Yeah,
Spider-Man and Marvel Zombies. Right now, Marvel and DC look good with their animation.
yeah,
Right now,
bet way better
Marvel
than
people
well,
are optimistic about Marvel again with the news last
yeah.
week of Robert Downey Jr. But they're not. But they're not. People are not overly optimistic about DC despite a reboot. I would say they're
I think
still like
right now both Marvel and DC have presented and ideas that could work and be interesting. So
yeah.
I think people should be a little bit more optimistic
And
just
by
to
the
see
way,
where it goes.
Blinded. So those Rebel movies came out. I did not see them.
Oh yeah, I
I
didn't
heard
see
it
them
didn't
either.
make the movies any better at all.
No, I watched a review on it,
And
and
Degrassi.
yeah, the guy was saying it was six
Oh
hours
yeah,
of
I was watching.
boringness.
I was watching Sean Chandler today earlier. They posted hours ago on it. He said, "Yeah, it didn't
Hmm.
really add anything. It's just gore, sex, and
Yeah,
that's it. Like nothing to the story." And
but it
Degrassi
was
told me
6
privately.
hours though.
Yeah, yeah, it was. Degrassi told me privately in DMs. He started to watch it, and then he like basically tuned out of it and started doing something else.
Yeah, once I heard it was 6 hours, I mean, yeah, I wasn't gonna watch it. I mean, Justice League, I watched it because yes, 4 hours is long, but
But
it's not
that's
as long as
watchable.
6 hours.
That was watchable.
Yeah.
The Snyder Cut was
Yeah,
watchable.
yeah, and it was something that we were interested in
Yeah.
seeing. Like Rebel Moon, we saw what Zack Snyder had to do, and he handicapped himself. He should have just put out a rated R cut, but I'm sure that wasn't even going to be good either. So yeah, it was just a bad movie that they try to market like the Snyder Cut, and frankly, it just doesn't work.
Hmm. Yeah, he always has a director's cut, right? Every time there's a movie, there's always a director cut version of him. Like everything.
Yeah,
Fine.
I think it's just marketing and to get people excited, but in reality, you should just make a good
But it's always
movie,
him.
right?
I know
Yeah, I know.
probably director's cut for mostly every director, but every time I hear about director's cut, it always refers to Zack Snyder 90% of the time.
Yeah, because I think Zack Snyder just, I mean, he doesn't really know how to like cut down his work and condense it. He just wants
Yeah,
like
see,
shit to be 6 hours
see
long.
his in his interview. Oh yeah, the story will make more sense. Now we're gonna have gore and sex, and I'm like, you know what? That doesn't add to the story. You know?
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's part of Snyder's brand name. Like,
Especially when if it was removed from the original cut and it's still like he
it,
still approved it. It was his vision that Netflix greenlit. So that means the gore and sex doesn't add anything. For all it is, it's just fucking whipped cream on top of shit. You know what I
I mean,
mean? Like,
the one thing we criticize about Deadpool and Wolverine is the story is a little weak, but still better than
right,
Snyder Cut and it's rated R.
right. Well,
You could,
that's because it's an entertaining movie in
yeah,
general.
true too. Oh yeah. All right, let's continue this because like this is
Really incredible show with
that's
it's really shaped, I think, a lot of the
Deadpool and Wolverine is gonna cause $1 billion this week, guaranteed.
Yeah, it is. It's already at
way
800. So
Yeah,
fans today
it is
want to
part of his
see these
brand name. Yeah,
characters. It's one
it
of the
is part
main
of his brand
reasons
name.
everyone's like, with Green Lantern, where's John Stewart? And why people want to see a very specific version of Hawkgirl.
right.
But it also, by the way, speaking of Harley Quinn, it planted the seed for her eventual relationship.
Now you could have this type of Poison Ivy, where she has abilities and powers because we know they're supernatural, like jump and ghost. I mean, they can do all that stuff now, right? Like Mr.
Yes,
Freeze,
but to some degree, right? Because
Face Sideways.
the thing
Yeah,
is, what I mean, yeah, there is supernatural, but I think it's not going to be the fantastical stuff that we got from the animated series. I think there still needs it needs to have a specific tone and style. And I think that's
mhm.
why Gentleman Ghost worked because it's like, yeah, he feels like a classic kind of ghost myth. Like it kind of reminded me of like the headless horseman, right?
Oh yeah.
And also it kind of has to fit with that universal monster kind of feeling as well. So I mean, obviously they
Oh, it's
can,
amazing sideways. It's amazing. But there are gonna be spoilers in an hour from us, but not from her to
yeah,
let you know. So
yeah,
you
because her reviews are, yeah, just non-spoiler.
yeah, but we must spoil on this. We actually did a show earlier where we did spoilers, but now we're
Right.
reacting to her, and we might actually have to spoil some stuff to
Oh, by the way, I mean, you were talking about Poison Ivy. Poison Ivy is technically referenced, or there's a reference to Poison Ivy in the show,
there's
though.
a lot there's a lot of Easter eggs. I'm surprised she hasn't made a videos where she's find references and Easter eggs in this show. I'm surprised she
Yeah,
hasn't.
she should do it. Yeah, she should have done that, but
She usually does stuff like that, right? Like
yeah.
maybe
I mean, the show didn't get her a lot of views, but the show
yeah.
is like #1 on Amazon Prime. So clearly it is being viewed and it is somewhat a success. I mean, these animated shows usually have like a low bar because they are animated and they're not necessarily targeted to kids. So the fact that people are watching it, I'm glad because it means that we're going to get more of this and hopefully the creative team is allowed to, experiment and do whatever they were doing before because it's clearly working. So,
Yeah, it's working.
with Poison Ivy, which has come to largely define both of the characters. On that note, the current animated Harley Quinn show very much builds on the legacy of Batman the Animated Series, Superman, and Justice League,
No, it
with
doesn't.
many
It's a totally different thing.
well, yeah, for um wait, play the whole thing because I'm confused now.
Yeah.
of the same characters
Oh.
and certainly a similar animation style. Harley Quinn, though, is much more adult. And I would say, like X-Men 97, that's in recognition of the original fans
Is it
now
Harley
being
Quinn
adult.
more adult than X-Men 97? It is like borderline like
Yeah, it is. I mean, X-Men 97, I think might be TV 14. So I think they're
but
all
I think
like
Harley Quinn
Batman and this is kind of more on the
isn't
same
Harley
level.
Quinn actually like what's for TV that's higher than TV 14? What's for
TV
mature?
MA.
Isn't it MA Harley Quinn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
pretty sure.
DC usually their ratings are usually more for adults. Their DC stuff is usually
Yeah,
adult
usually.
for Marvel. Like Marvel recently went. I mean, TV 14 was the most might have been the highest until
Yeah, I mean the thing is, Marvel Zombies is going to be a
Yeah.
TVMA show.
The thing is, I think Marvel catered more to teenagers and kids, where DC kind of caters to a little bit of an older audience and more adult
Yeah,
audience.
but I think now after Deadpool and Wolverine,
Yeah.
and if Marvel Zombies is successful, I think Marvel is going to lean more into the adult category because they do have more adult
Yes.
characters to play with. I mean, and also Daredevil, I forgot. Daredevil's also going to be TVMA, so you might as well start making some stuff that aligns with
Man,
that. I
remember
mean, and
Echo
also Echo,
aligned
but yeah.
Echo was mature, but wasn't really mature.
No, it was just sort of like here's a
It was
little
off
blood and a
mature.
little yeah, you could tell that they kind of either did some reshoots
They
to
did not need
make
to make
it.
it mature, man. They did not need to make it
Yeah, that
mature.
that show was definitely, yeah,
They,
a lot of CGI blood
I
and
think it
shit.
was a way to get people invested and interested because they knew they had something that wasn't good, and that's why they made a binge too.
Yeah, that trailer for Echo, I mean, you remember
Yeah.
it was a pretty good trailer.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Yes.
yep, they were. So it makes sense.
Oh, let's continue this broad. I'm
adults,
kidding.
and having having that, so it has that nostalgia factor. Maybe that's one of the reasons that Deadpool and Wolverine just did so well, and maybe that's one of the reasons The Boys does so well.
The boys are not nostalgia though, man. It's
Well, I
good.
think like the superhero,
Oh,
the people who grew up with superheroes obviously gravitate toward it, right?
yeah.
So that
That
makes sense.
people want to see their favorite characters from their childhood or commentaries on them, but they also want storytelling that is appropriate for them today. It's almost, though, speaking of Batman the Animated Series, it's like it has been split in two. And Harley Quinn, the new show, got all the fun, flirty energy of Batman the Animated Series, while this new show, Batman Cape Crusader, also very adult,
All I
has
know is in Harley Quinn. I haven't watched it, but apparently, Joker knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a clip of it. Yeah. Well, it's humorous. It's supposed to be like really like.
has
It's
got
like it's like it's like it's mature, but
Mhm.
like but the Harley Quinn show is it's pretty mature, but it is mostly it's basically a comedy show,
Yeah, it's a comedy show where they make
mature
like
comedy.
crass jokes
Yeah,
and things like that. So that makes sense.
it's I don't know if I call it dark comedy. Maybe I call it dark comedy, but I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, there's dark comedy in it.
Yeah.
So
Huh?
what is this?
63 is nothing, man. Trust me. Trust me.
Oh, he's
It's nothing.
63. Well, the thing
Yeah.
is, I mean, he's not really doing the art. It's just kind of like emulating his style, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's like overseeing it or something. Because you got to remember the animation. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if even if Bruce Timm passes away, they still um use his style, right? Because I mean, look how many shows he's used it with, right? And another thing too, to his credit, is that he's able to take the same character and kind of change it up and make it look different, even though it's similar, right? And he's done because I'm pretty sure he did that short for what was it, the 80th or the 75th anniversary of Batman, and it was like all the different Batman going up against each other or something to that
Yeah,
degree. I don't remember it.
yeah,
It was a little short thing, but
yeah. There
yeah,
was
yeah,
all right, yeah. Um,
all the film noir elements. Boy, has it. Woo! That's the best part of the show. Visually, like in terms of atmosphere and directing, Batman Cape Crusader is absolutely breathtaking.
I
It's like the
agree.
Scorsese
mhm.
absolute cinema meme in animation. I
I
can't
agree.
believe
I
they
don't
went
know
this
if I'll go
hard.
that
I just
far, but it's pretty
absolutely
good.
adore it. And it's that element of the show. I have some complaints. And it's really nice to see, though, the adult treatment go beyond the script, adult language, and
Oh,
more
that's where
explicit
Finbar's streaming.
elements.
Okay, yeah, I'm not
Fun.
subscribed to that channel.
No.
I'll probably go look though.
Oh yeah.
And also includes sophistication and style. I've been on a classic film noir kick the last few weeks or months, this summer, I guess you could say. And Batman Cape Crusader, with its stylization of the 1940s, fits in beautifully. Maybe that's one of the reasons I particularly like it. I wonder if you don't appreciate the film noir classics, and
they did say it was taking place in 1940s. It never said 1940s, but we assumed
Right.
back then. But yeah, it does make sense. I mean,
why don't you? But some people don't care for older film, classic film, and maybe therefore the stylization here might not appeal to you. But it just has to have enough people to get. It's already been renewed for a second season, but it just has to. I mean, I think the bar is lower these days for an audience in streaming, and particularly in animation. So I think it's impressive enough, and there are enough Batman the Animated
X-Men in this show in the same year.
Mhm.
We're blessed.
Series fans, but I think it'll clear the bar. But there are some things that I think there will be some things that maybe people disagree on, but I think there are a few things that people will universally agree need to be addressed. Yes, there's a but. The loss of the two biggest issues, I think, are the loss of the fun and flirty aspects of Batman the Animated Series, a real issue for this show. They've just sucked out all the fun and flirty aspects, as well as some of the changes that it has made.
Catwoman was kind of flirting with him in this show. What do you think?
Well, I think she means like the energy, because we talked about this, and I'm pretty sure it was Sam in our other stream was talking about this as well. Which this is why I say I can understand why someone doesn't like this show, because it just doesn't have the same energy as the animated show, because it's not trying to do what the animated shows did, right? It's clearly a homage to all these other, classic Hollywood, golden age Hollywood stuff, right? In terms of horror or crime, film noir, right? And if you watch a lot of those movies, you'll notice that besides there being a camp factor, right? There's not really a lot of like, it's not very comic booky. It's not very fast paced. It's not, it's very kind of like slow and building up suspense and trying to, have a serious atmosphere. And even though the original animated series does have atmosphere, it's not the same as this, right?
No.
It's that atmosphere is like way more stylistic, even the way how Gotham looks, and, from the opening sequence, like the opening sequence in this one is very slow, and it's like, you're getting images of the, parts of the episode, while the other one, it's like action. It's all Batman beating up these thugs, and then, it's telling its own kind of story. Here it's different. So yeah, I don't think it's, I mean, I think the one thing the show probably should work on is definitely the action, and I think that's what people are missing.
Yeah.
Which seem like they've been done more to drum up online discussion rather than benefit the show.
I'm sure Catwoman would be like an interest down the line. Like,
Potentially.
Yeah.
Or maybe not.
Well, let's discuss that first.
Yeah. Did you know in that episode where we went to the circus, that was Julia Madsen, right? One of his girlfriends from the comics, the actress.
Right.
Yeah.
First. This is the non-spoiler review. There are like a couple little things that, but I don't think that will affect your experience. There are a lot of surprises in store for you. And I think for the most part, I've maintained them. But I still want us to be able to have this discussion. All right. So I think the diversity of Batman Cape Crusader is exciting because it allows many different groups to see themselves in the iconic Batman the Animated Series storytelling and styling. That's very cool. But as is so often the case with Hollywood, when they try to do...
The thing is, yeah, back in the 40s and 50s, you would probably never see a black DA or a black commissioner, honestly. Right. But people understand this is still a fictional world. It's not a real life.
I'm sure that was gonna. Yeah, I know people are gonna on the anti-woke side would have pointed that out.
Well, yeah.
And I'm sure that the reason why they did that is because, then there would just be a bunch of white people in the show, and then people would complain, or there would be some stupid controversy.
My best comparison is like the Fantastic Four movie. Obviously, we haven't seen it, but the '60s, right? It's supposed to take place in the '60s, but it's not supposed to look like what the '60s are in real in nonfiction, like in real life, and
Right.
right. It's
It's
supposed to
supposed to
look
be more
more futuristic.
futuristic.
Yeah, futuristic 1960s, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Mhm.
I mean, yeah, the race bent and the gender switching, I think the gender switching could be more like a problem depending on the character. But race, unless the character is like needs a specific race, then yeah, I don't really have an issue
You
with
know
it,
what?
right?
They're gonna play about Penguin. They're gonna get their wish. They're gonna be happy with the Penguin and
Yeah.
Batman. It's gonna be all like,
I still think it really depends on the execution.
yeah.
If the penguin in this episode was pretty much just like, the penguin, but it's a female and that's the only
Well,
difference, I don't think it would have worked. This one, it was like she had kids and the way she even was fucking with her
I
kids, you're
think
like, oh shit, like, you know what
I
I
think
mean? Like, it was
Danny
different.
Elfman's Danny Elfman's music for Batman stuff. He also
Yeah.
did the two movies, right? Batman Returns and all that, and he
Hmm.
did a show, right? I don't think that kind of music fits this tone of Batman, because those songs feel triumphant, right? Those theme musics feel
Yeah.
triumphant, right? This doesn't feel like that, right? Like, right?
I can see
You,
what Sam is talking about
yeah.
here. I mean, that is a good point, Sam, because yeah, I can't really, besides the opening, the music kind of blended into the background, which, it kind of supposed to, but a good score does stick out,
Well,
and I can't say it had a great
uh,
score, even compared to like if they were emulating film noir score. I mean, there are
yeah,
still some
yeah.
good ones, right? Or even classic music. That's another thing too. There wasn't a lot of like, here's this classic song we brought in, right?
The thing is,
But
the Batman animated series wasn't noir per se, but
no,
was
but it took influences, heavy
yeah,
influences.
and the settings were like very 40s, 50s with some of the cars and how it was.
Yeah,
But
it was
again,
like a blend, a mix of it.
it was like a mix, yeah. But there were computers and all that stuff. This
Mhm.
had none of that, the computers
No.
or anything. Uh,
representation, it's often not
hey,
very
Anthony.
flattering. It's not at the level of the original characters. It's like, thanks, some kind of help is the help we don't need. Thanks, but no thanks. Although I think it's always better to be included. But I'm surprised that they didn't
Mhm.
do a better job with some of the inclusion. So Commissioner Gordon and Barbara Gordon fare the best by far. The commissioner's role is surprisingly small, actually. But on the
Yeah.
flip side, Barbara's role is huge.
But to
She
be
is, I
fair,
would
in the
say,
show,
arguably
that's
the
kind of the
show's
point though, because Commissioner Gordon can't really be seen with Batman, right? Because one,
No,
Batman doesn't really trust Jim Gordon just yet, and two, Jim Gordon, even though he's
he's starting
skeptical,
to
but
trust
he's
them.
more optimistic or,
Yeah.
leaning toward giving Batman the benefit of
Well,
doubt, he
especially
can't be seen around him, right?
especially in the last episode, he told him,
Yeah,
he in the last
he
episode he
gave
goes,
him an out.
yeah, he said, "I will have to arrest you if they when the rest of the police arriving," and so
Yeah,
he gives Batman time to escape, kind of right, like
right.
yeah,
And I mean, even in this show, they do joke about the bat signal, right?
yeah,
Because Barbara's
they
like,
do
"How
take
do
a
I
joke, yeah,
yeah, how do I contact you?" And then she was like, "Oh yeah, I'll put like a signal in the window for
and
you."
that's
And
probably
then
gonna
he's like,
happen.
"No, I have a number." That was actually funny, but yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised. I think they will probably have a signal eventually.
yeah, they
I
do. You do see the signal on the roof.
part of it, yeah, yeah, like the
Yeah,
beginning of it, yeah, but
yeah, I'm
obviously
sure they're going to.
they're gonna make that the best signal. Obviously, probably season 2 is probably when uh to fully trust them. James Commissioner Gordon trusts him. Everybody, most of the people in the precinct trust them, and that's when probably use the
Yeah,
signal.
it's probably going to be like what's in the Batman, where the
Yeah,
Gotham PD doesn't trust him except for Jim
but
Gordon,
anybody
and
has a
Jim Gordon
signal.
has to
That's what's funny.
play like he doesn't know
But anybody
Batman.
has a signal in the Batman, even though they'll fully
Yeah.
trust him.
Well, because it's hidden, right? It's actually like in the abandoned
Yeah,
part that's still being built, right? So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
it's still like a secret, which I think is different. It works. I mean, we always know Jim Gordon and the police are in favor of Batman, so I mean, why not play around with it a little bit? It's a different interpretation.
hmm Just let it build, right? Just let the development, their relationship build over time, right? Like that's the thing about multiple
Potentially, yeah.
seasons. The thing is,
Or it could just stay the same. I mean,
the
I think
thing
there
is,
could be a lot of drama there.
if you want to contrast the anime series, in this one, there's more narrative in this series than the anime series. There's no like pure narrative in the anime series, right? It's always a
Well,
villain.
there's not like a continuous
Yeah,
narrative.
it's
Yeah.
always a villain. It's always a villain of the
The
every
week.
episode is a different villain.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this one obviously is still
has
following that
villains of
because
that.
that's part of the.
Yeah,
I
it
mean,
has
that's part of the
villains of that.
style, right? It's a serial.
Yeah, it has a little bit of villain of the week for some villains, but there's still a
Yeah.
narrative and the going around.
Yeah, yeah, you still have to, because actually, you know what? In this review, Grace says something that's wrong. She says you could watch a show out of order. Do not
Mm-mm,
watch the show out of order, because yeah, you're
no.
gonna get confused. There's some important details that happen, that you have to watch it as it's intended. You can't just skip around like Batman the animated series. I mean, Batman the animated series did have parts. This show does at the ending. There's a two-parter episode
Yeah, you have
technically, so
anime series. You have origins of villains, how they come to be, and then later on when they
yeah,
come
and then
back
they're
to be the villain.
established.
Yeah, they're established. Yeah, but there's like no direct narrative. There's like no real story.
Yeah.
Like, yeah,
Yeah, I mean, outside of the origins, yeah, you could watch Batman the animated series out of
I,
order. It
I,
doesn't really
I,
matter.
Superman should just become. If they can do Superman, just wait a while for Superman.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, this Superman can definitely exist in this universe, but it's gonna be the classic
Yeah,
Superman, which, yeah, I mean, I would say later down the road we could see that because if this is a Batman show, let's focus on Batman.
yeah,
And
yeah,
unlike the My Adventures with Superman, I feel this show is more geared toward Batman's tone. While that show, the Superman show, feels like any DC character can appear in it.
yeah. He's not.
So yeah,
Yeah, the tone of Superman stuff is gonna be more lighthearted than Batman. Like anything.
right. And you don't want to just introduce him even in the second season. I mean, I would be surprised if they do,
Yeah,
but
because
it doesn't feel natural
well, they're not gonna.
just
Yeah,
yet.
so like you're gonna have to find a way. If they introduce him, they're gonna have to find a way to use Superman's lightheartedness and Batman's what's the opposite lightheartedness? Dark
Yeah,
heartedness.
the dark
Yeah,
hearts. I don't know. Yeah.
try to like the how they could both work together and if you do it in this, if you do it in the Cape Crusader, because I can tell you one thing if they when we probably will see Batman in Superman, the Superman show, but it's not gonna be a dark tone or like a gritty Batman. It's probably gonna be more lighthearted,
Right.
right?
Well, I mean, the Superman, because I did say Lois Lane is in the show. There
Yeah,
is a reference to Lois Lane. So, and the way that she looks is more like the 40s style Superman show. So that's what I'm going to assume
that's
they're going to take from. So, and I mean, to be fair, the show does allow for supernatural or super
yeah, it's
powered
magic.
characters.
So why
So,
not aliens, right? If you have
yeah,
magic, why not aliens? Or like supernatural, why not aliens? It's like
right. But again, I think if we do get him, I would want that to be like
that's
later.
not a bad idea, Sam. Not a bad idea.
As
Clark,
a
why
report.
not?
Yeah, they could do that
Yeah,
too. That is a good
Lewis,
point.
Lois and Jimmy. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
Female lead. Not only do they both have great character designs, but Eric Morgan Stewart and particularly Crystal Joy Brown, wow, do excellent voice
Oh
work
yeah,
for
and
the two
also too,
characters.
actually, you know what, Sam, that is actually a good point because we were saying there is DC characters who are not
yeah.
related to Batman who do appear in the
Well,
show,
yeah,
but
like
they're not
from John
superheroes. That's
Constantine, Gentleman Joe's the like
yeah,
version of him.
we do see Plastic Man, we do see
Yeah,
the Spectre, but they're not the DC characters, and they're not set up to be those characters either. So that's why I feel like, yeah, if Superman appears as Superman, I don't know, like that seems like a
this
little bit like I don't know, it doesn't really fit super well right now. Like in a
yeah.
third or fourth season, yes, but
What I
I
best
don't
I would
know.
do is describe that all the characters that we see in the DC universe that could possibly be around, but just don't we won't might not all see them.
Yeah, like it would be more organic if you see
Yeah,
Superman as a reporter.
yeah. This
That makes sense.
yeah, yeah.
But
Like
him
there-
flying around and then he's like beside Batman, yeah, that one I don't know how they're gonna
no.
do exactly, but
Just like think of it. Just like maybe Green Lanterns exist, the Flash exists in this universe. We just don't see them. Like just think like that. They all
yeah,
exist.
and they would have to be their golden age version as well because
Yeah,
you can't put Silver Age
Wonder Woman.
even though the show is borrowing from Silver Age, you can't really take Silver Age Superman and put him against this Batman. It doesn't work.
No.
Like the tone is off. So you have to put it like the Golden Age Superman, which the
You could just
tone is still different
you could just
too.
have this Clark and Bruce, even
Yeah.
though he is Superman, but Bruce is cheekily sort jokes around
I
like,
like Sam's idea. Sam has a really, really good
and
idea. I think
you could
that
just
works.
mention Superman, be like Clark Kent. If Clark is really interviewing Bruce Wayne one on one, and after interview, Bruce just says like with a cheeky grin on his face, "I know
Right.
who you are, Superman."
Or you could just smile, or I mean, it doesn't have to be right on the nose, but like, because most people
Yeah,
didn't know there were the photograph guy, the photographer, he was Plastic Man.
yeah.
It's not told to you. He just
What's this
says his
plastic man's name
name, right?
again? It's not Dimby,
It's
right?
like ill. Hold on.
Not Jack Cole. What's his name?
No, it's not. It's
Patrick L. O'Brien. Is that his name? Patrick O'Brien.
Patrick O'Brien. Yeah, Patrick O'Brien. Yeah, ill.
Yeah,
Eel is his nickname. There we go. That's why
yeah,
I said that. Yeah.
yeah.
Um.
He is kind of golden age character because he has been around
Yeah, he is a
for a
Golden
long
Age
time.
character.
Yeah, for like, yeah, almost as
Yeah,
younger than
Wonder Woman. I
Batman.
mean, the Justice League were part of the Golden Age.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah. Just don't do the
yeah,
Wonder
it would
Woman.
have to be, like what's his name? Is it Alan Scott, Green
Yeah,
Lantern? Like
Green Lantern.
if you were to have that, it would have to be those versions of the character, right?
Just
Like you're
don't
not
do
gonna have a Wally West or Barry Allen as the
no.
Flash. No, you're probably
Just
gonna
don't
have
do
Jay Garrick.
just don't do Wonder Twins, please. Remember that they're going to
Well,
do like
Wonder
a
Twins
movie.
is more 70s,
Remember
Silver Age stuff.
they were to do the Wonder Twins movie and they canceled like in a week
Yeah.
filming or something like that.
Yeah. I mean, well, the Wonder Twins are not Golden Age characters,
No,
so the Golden
I think
Age Justice League
from what I
is
heard,
like,
they, they got the actor from Riverdale who who's the redhead again in Riverdale? Not Jughead. The redhead from Riverdale from Char. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. The actor, right, from Riverdale.
right.
So he was supposed to schedule play one of the Wonder Twins. Apparently, when they got canceled, he basically like left acting or something like that. He hasn't been around since. Justice Society could do
Well,
that.
Justice actually, hold on a minute. I was mistaken. Justice League is a Silver Age concept. The Justice Society is the Golden Age concept of that.
Yeah.
So yeah. But so yeah, like characters. I mean, we did see quite a few members.
Archie.
I
Remember
mean, you
seeing
have
Archie.
Wildcat. I mean, Spectre is on the JSA
Isn't Black
movies in the
Canary? But is
show.
it's not? Is it the mother Black Canary? Like
I'm not
gold.
sure.
Maybe Degrassi will remind us. Degrassi will know. Degrassi is our historian.
Yeah.
And I also really liked, by the way, the design of Lucius Fox, reimagined as not just one of Wayne Enterprises' top executives, but coming from one of Gotham's elite families himself.
Right.
That was a great idea.
Mm-hmm.
And while I appreciate the body positivity of the new Renee Montoya, she's styled in a very dour, restricted way, which could have been maybe a reflection on some of the things she's going through personally.
Yeah,
That's not
I don't know why she brings up this point because she just answered it right there. The reason why she looks like that is because
Really.
she does have. I mean, yeah, that what she's saying here, it makes sense. She answers her own question. It's because she does have some stuff happening to her in the show, like the fact
Mm-hmm.
that yeah, she was a weird retcon issue about what, Peter? But that she was originally. Oh, okay.
Mm. I'm
Yeah,
surprised.
there.
Like,
Okay, that's interesting.
surprised Harvey Dent didn't fall in love with her because I know in the comics
Well,
Harvey
she's
like fall.
lesbian.
Yeah, but I know Harvey Two-Face falls for her, right? And she like he gets angry when turns out she's a lesbian and like she tries to destroy her career and
Oh,
stuff.
okay.
Degrassi
Might have
also.
been I mean, that would have not made him sympathetic at all, though.
Yeah, but the thing is, it's Two-Face Harvey Dent. You don't like it's like you don't know what's going on in his mind.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah, I would have made him less sympathetic in my opinion. I mean, he already takes some digs at Barbara, so
Well, because sometimes you could appeal to Two Face's humanity, especially from the Dent side, and like uh, what?
yeah, but I think the thing is with this interpretation and some interpretations,
Yeah, this they're not
it's
they're not
more
really
like, yeah, he has a split personality and it's not
this.
necessarily his fault. It's just like,
Well,
he gets triggered. And
Two
obviously
Face
that causes a lot of fucked up shit to
Two
happen, of
Face's
course.
Two Face's role in this show was basically the show that Batman Bruce Wayne should not lose his humanity, like Alfred said
Right.
at the end, right?
Well, and also that it's, like he has to rely on others too if he wants to get
Yeah,
the job done.
yeah, yeah, like in
And that's
Arkham
why he started
Origins.
calling him Alfred and not Pennyworth, because he
Yeah,
started to realize, yeah, like
Arkham Origins
Alfred is,
explored that because remember
yeah,
Arkham Origins when Bane supposedly killed Alfred, and then we brought Alfred back to life. Bruce had doubts, you can't do this and all this, and
yeah,
Alfred reassured him, you can't do this on intelligence brawn alone, but on your allies too, right?
yeah.
He's
And
like,
I mean, you see that in
you,
a little bit in the
the
Batman as well.
Batman, yeah, yeah, in the Batman, because yeah, because Batman has always been well. There's a reason why he does things alone. It's because he doesn't want people to get hurt because of him,
Hmm.
right? I mean, he doesn't show
Right.
it because like he's very cold. He's very cold, reclusive. Right? He's very like that, right?
Hmm.
Right? But that means he doesn't mean he doesn't mean he doesn't care. He just doesn't want to right. He's afraid, obviously.
Right.
But over time, he learns to let people in. That's why he adopts Robins and has a bat family, right? Like
Hmm.
still, he'll always be haunted, traumatized, but it does. But the pain won't be as hard, won't be as painful when he has people that he can rely and trust that actually they can care for and they can care for him.
Right.
Right? You don't right? Yeah, yeah, you're right. You see,
Yep. Yep.
when you suffer traumatizing events like that, sometimes the best thing it's never going to fully go away, but sometimes the best thing is to have people that care about you around you because they'll make you try to make you feel better. And
Right.
that's what Bruce did to Robin when he takes him in. Dick Grayson takes in Dick Grayson, right? He wants to give
Hmm.
him. I mean, he like one thing that gets me in the Batman animated series is how he told Dick Grayson, the young Dick Grayson, how remember Dick Grayson. Dick Grayson. They looked at there was a portrait of his parents, Batman's parents, Bruce Wayne's parents, and he asked, "That's your parents?" Because similarly, right? Their parents are both murdered, right? And
Right.
Dick Grayson does ask, "Does the pain get better?" And Bruce basically was honest with him. Not it doesn't go away, but it does get better and will get better for you.
Right.
Because there's subjects believe that Bruce Wayne doesn't want to get better, right? He doesn't want the pain
Hmm.
to get better. The Batman, and you can tell it in the Batman because he doesn't care if he dies. He doesn't right like that. He
Right.
doesn't care.
Makes sense.
Oh yeah, yeah, yep. Let's continue. Grace, continue.
How at least it's addressed in the first season. It just seems like an unfortunate choice.
This is how you know it's a myth. Batman when they have a hyphen, right? When there's a hyphen,
Yeah,
right?
Batman used to be
Yeah,
spelled with a hyphen,
yeah.
and then they dropped hyphen. Yeah.
Because why shouldn't a body positive character be able to have as much
Creature Commandos, Blue Beetle, My Adventure Superman, almost at Spider Man, Cape Crusader season 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Well, season 3
I
is
mean, at
probably
Marvel, we have What If season 3. Marvel,
yeah.
because we're talking
X
about how DC and Marvel are doing pretty well with the animation right now.
X Men 97, Marvel Zombies,
Yeah.
Spider Man. Yeah,
Spider-Man.
I think Wakanda, Black Panther,
Yeah, the
right?
Wakanda,
What's it
Eyes of
called?
Wakanda.
Yeah, that was gonna say yeah. Eyes of Wakanda. Yeah, missing one. Yeah, God,
But yeah.
Gotham by Gaslight Show. This kind of is kind of, I guess, not really
Well,
technically.
that one's in the, was it 17, 1800s, right?
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do
And
that.
it's
Sorry.
Victorian era, like, so.
There's a lot of animated movies with different eras of Batman where he's or different locations, like a Japanese Batman, or like a
Yeah.
the or in England at the time the Jack the Whipper,
Yeah, there was one I recently found out about where it's Batman in Shanghai and like
Yeah, yeah,
ancient
yeah.
Japan, or not Japan, China.
And there's like
Um,
just like the Japanese version of Harley Quinn, or like English version of Harley Quinn, or something like that.
yeah, there's
Red,
all different. I mean, yeah,
yeah.
Batman is a character who's lasted so long. It makes
Who's Red
sense.
Lion?
Yeah, I'm not
Who's Red-
familiar with Red Lion.
I can't answer that question because I don't remember Red Lion. Is that the woman in the anime series that likes cats, steals cats, poaches cats or something, and then sells them? Isn't that her name Claw though? Isn't that Claw? Was that her name? Remember, like,
Let me go see him. Because yeah, I'm
uh,
not
she wore like
familiar.
red, and her name was Claw, I think. But I don't think it's Red Lion. I don't know. I don't know who Red Lion is. Who's Red Lion? I'm sorry.
Red Lion looks like a Black Panther. DC's Black Panther.
Oh, good lord! If they use that, you're gonna have problems. People are gonna be like, "Oh, look, yeah." Is he a hero or a
They
bad
even
guy?
looks like a
No, he's a
hero.
hero.
I
No,
mean,
the
Red
character is
Lion.
no. He was an enemy, a primary enemy of the Justice League. Apparently,
Oh yeah, okay.
he's an evil Black Panther. Fights the Justice League.
Okay, I see this. Yeah.
Uh, it's actually the first time I've heard of him.
Yeah, I've never heard of this character either. Red
Man,
Lion. When was he created? I'm curious.
Matthew Bland. Um.
There was Red Claw,
Oh,
is the one
he's
you're talking about.
he's
Yes.
East.
Red
Yeah,
Claw is from the animated
2016.
show, not Red Lion. Red Lion is
Yeah,
the
from Deathstroke Rebirth,
yeah.
October 2016. It's kind of recent, right? It's kind of a recent character, like 8 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, red I think he means Red Claw. Do you mean Red
Oh
Claw,
yeah,
Iggy? Or yeah, Hunter, sorry. I always see it as Iggy, but yeah.
yeah. I don't know who.
Red Claw, I mean it was no, oh yeah, Red Claw's an animated character. Right. Right. Okay. Yeah. This is like one of
Was
the
this
few
created for the
characters who were
animated?
yeah.
Oh,
I mean they did appear in the comics like 2 years ago,
yeah,
but yeah, they were uh yeah, she was like established in the animated series. There's a couple other characters like that.
yes,
Let's
yes.
see.
Was it Bane
Like
also one of
Hardak,
them?
Hardak
Was
the
it Bane?
robot.
Wasn't Bane also?
Bane.
Or no? Or
No,
no? No,
not
no.
Bane. Bane is Bane a Silver Age character? Let me go see.
Uh, I didn't time you out, Red. What are you talking about? I didn't time
I
you
think he's
out.
making a joke. Oh, okay.
Uh,
Bane never appeared in the Golden Age or Silver Age.
okay, yeah.
So his first appearance was in the 90s. That's interesting. Yeah, Chuck Dixon created Bane. So,
When was he first introduced? First appearance, 1993.
yeah.
Okay. Woman's animated series.
So Bane's a fairly I mean,
Well,
in all the grand scheme of things, he's a fairly recent popular Batman villain.
he's 30 years old. Yeah, like it's 30-year
Yeah.
old villain. Let's continue with Grace.
I
Grace
mean,
was
outside of the Court of Owls, I think the Court of Owls is probably again the most
the last 10 years at
in the
least.
last 10 years, probably the most famous one, or
Yeah,
the one that kind of broke out into other mediums, right? Because they were in Gotham Knights, and so
I know. Some people don't like the Batman who laughs, but he turned out pretty big too. Like he became a
yeah,
major force.
yeah. I didn't know Bane was created in the 90s. I thought it would have been like late 80s or if he was a Silver Age character. That was another thing too.
Yeah.
But
Fun, flirty fun as the characters from the original Batman the Animated Series. But then also, in addition to the dour stylings and the body positivity, those same elements are reflected also in the new Harley Quinn, which not only therefore
Did you find something very common here between these two characters? They kind of basically
right.
wore the same suit, except Matoya wore a tie. Look at that. And she has shorts, right? She doesn't have pants like Matoya, but the jacket and underneath the jacket, the shirt, very similar, huh?
Right. I also wonder, don't think they will do this,
Yeah.
but let me hold on. Let me check because this is kind of fitting a theme, so it's like we got to kind of play to the theme.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
The
Okay.
punchline
I was
shorts.
gonna say maybe they would make her into the question, but I mean I don't know. I don't think so,
You
right?
know, deep down the line, I don't know.
Because we were talking about the superheroes and if they would
I
appear or
mean, they
not, so
could.
probably
Why
not.
not have the Christian character in this universe? Why not? Like,
Yeah, but Montoya has been the question.
yeah, I know that's
That's what I
true.
mean, right? So,
Yeah,
but yeah, I guess maybe they should just stick to having the alter egos just appear because that would be pretty interesting. I mean, they're
yeah.
doing it so far.
You gotta build them up.
Well, not build them up. I just think they should just appear as the alter egos.
Um, couple scene,
I
couple.
haven't had the chance to watch it yet, but one of the criticisms I've seen Levy rough. No,
Maybe a little bit, but not much. No.
I mean stilted. Not really. I mean, it's not as fluid as the animated series, but that's I feel like that's kind of the point because it's supposed to be more again grounded, realistic, playing into those the Universal monster movies, the gangster movies, the film noir of like the 30s and 40s. So
Yeah.
yeah, a lot of I don't know about any of that stuff. I feel like a lot of people are kind of like nitpicking because it's like the animation is very solid for this show.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, it's definitely in line with, I would say, kind of the animated movies. So maybe that's where that criticism is coming from. But I got to be honest, when I hear criticisms like that, that sounds like a Twitter criticism. Because
Yeah.
even on YouTube, the criticism that I've been hearing is mostly to do with the characters' portrayals and how the writing and stuff like that. That's more of the criticisms I've seen on YouTube and threads too. So I haven't seen anything about the animation. So that's definitely surprising. Reading the early Batman was it
I didn't.
surprising how many giants he fought. Yeah.
you would.
Yep.
You would fight anybody.
Well, it's kind of weird how
Tracks from
many
both of the
weird
characters'
characters
originality.
Batman does fight.
I know.
Yeah, the anti-woke people are calling it DAI Batman. The people who are not so much like they don't care, they're kind of saying the show's kind of boring and shit,
Hmm.
right? And they
They're
and
not
they don't
even.
really like the new takes on the characters.
Yeah. Well.
Oh, I was gonna say though one thing. Batman fought Thor, which was pretty weird.
You saw Thor?
Yes.
When? I'm gonna crossover.
That was like Golden Age. No, 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 not Marvel's Thor. Thor, the DC universe's Thor. He was a Batman villain. Because Zeus, I'm pretty sure, is also a Batman villain. I
Maxive
could be
Zeus.
wrong.
Yes, Maxive Zeus. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Zeus. Yes. Yes. Some guy thought it was the incarnation of Zeus. Yes.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people like that, huh? Because King Tut is like that too, the Batman
Yeah, he
villain.
thinks it's the King Tut. Yeah, they're calling it DEI Batman on YouTube.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, we saw. Yeah, that was pretty easy. I mean, once you have like race bent characters and female penguin. I mean, actually, outside of like 4 characters that are race bent, yeah, 4 characters, right? Let me just check. Flask is race bent.
Commissioner Gordon.
Commissioner Gordon and Barbara are race bent. And
Harley is.
well, yeah, and Harley is Asian.
Yeah.
I think
That's
maybe there was
4.
one more then. It was
That's
5.
4. This is
There was
the
another
so
character I'm thinking
we
of.
counted 4. Um.
I think there's another character who's race bent, but I'm not remembering.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Penguin, female Penguin.
Gender bend.
That's
Yeah.
really about it.
Yeah. I. Yeah, I can't figure out who the 5th one is.
Yeah, maybe it is.
Neither
just
one of them
4
is
then.
allowed to even own this
Yeah.
new space. But the couple, they've been paired up as a couple. as a romantic
So
couple.
the animated series we went to like cop slash detective. Here she's just detective.
Yeah, King Ramatel was in the 60s
Yeah, yeah,
show.
yeah, yeah. It was the '60s. Yeah, I love that villain though. Um,
But
Well,
it makes them boring because they're the same. And so I think any writer will tell you that it's more dramatic when opposites attract. Sometimes there's like some similarities too, of course, but I think there's always usually some really big contrasting element which makes you be like, the sparks, the electricity that must be there. And I think you don't feel that here because it's not there. And again, as I said, I think it's unfortunate the two plus size female characters aren't allowed to have the same
yeah,
flirty fun
yeah.
and
I like to see
style
villains. Yeah,
that the
we need to
classic
see
Batman the
villains.
animated series female character.
We need Condiment King and Egghead eventually.
yeah, Egghead. I mean, well, there's a lot of obscure
Was it?
Batman villains that we can get into. Imagine the Eraser. The
Oh,
Eraser would
from
kind of make sense in this show.
get the
So I wouldn't be
1960s.
surprised if he shows up.
1960s had tons of them. Tons of them.
Yeah, well, the 60s show introduced a lot of new villains. I mean, very obscure shit, but
You see the obscure '60s, Mr. Freeze.
well, the Mr. Because someone on Threads was like, "Oh, should they put Mr. Freeze in it?" And I was saying, well, technically, if the show is all about Golden Age and Silver Age, then he wouldn't be called Mr. Freeze. He would be called Mr. Zero. So
Yeah.
yeah, and I think Mr. Zero actually appeared in Brave and the Bold, but if they were to do Mr. Freeze, it would be kind of cool to have that callback.
Harvey Dent. Well, technically, Harvey Dent did not appear in the show in the '60s, but he did appear in the '60s animated movie that came out a couple years ago, voiced by William
Right.
Shatner. They had Two-Face in it, right? That was a pretty good animated movie from the animated 1960s show. With William
Yes.
Shatner's
Yeah.
Two-Face, Harvey Dent. I like that. Let's see.
Did. Again, it's like this new type of person gets to be in the space, but not in the same way. And you're like, why would you do that? Also, Montoya has become a fantastic overall LGBT character for DC, who's had really interesting relationships, not only with fellow police officer Maggie Sawyer, who's out of Metropolis, but also Kate Kane's Batwoman.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
However,
I don't know if they're going to introduce Batwoman, Kate Kane.
Well, I mean, it could be possible that they introduce Batgirl first, given how, I mean,
I think she's
significant a
really
role she has in the show.
I think she's going to become Batgirl. I think it's going to happen. I think.
Yes.
I wouldn't even call her Batgirl because she's basically a district attorney. She basically should be Batwoman. Like she's old enough to be Batwoman.
Yeah, she's old enough to be Batwoman.
Isn't it kind of weird? Like, yeah.
I mean, we were still debating on whether, because I know RJ's in the chat. This is a spoiler. So,
yeah, onomatopoeia. How do you
but
like
the Robins do appear in the show, so we were saying we wonder if there's if they'll even have Robin in future seasons.
Yes.
Because I mean, Robin is technically a Golden Age character. He appeared I think he appeared in the second issue, if not like the fourth issue. Let me go check.
Except when some of the characters are not Golden Age. Some of the characters introduced were not Golden Age characters.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's the thing about the show is that there's characters who are not Golden Age, they're Silver Age characters. Like Nocturno is a Silver Age character. And I mean, Degrassi just pointed out, I hate saying that fucking word, so I'm not gonna even say it. I'm never gonna remember it. Okay, fuck that word. But yeah, he was created by Kevin Smith, and that's like in the 90s. Is that in the 90s or the 2000s? I can't remember.
I think it was 2000s. I think it was in 2000s.
Because that Batman comic was not good. I gotta be honest.
I can't believe Degrassi was able to spell because I would never be able to spell. Isn't he the one that killed Silver St. Cloud? Like murder.
I'm not sure.
But yeah, I'm surprised you're able to spell that correctly, Degrassi.
Yeah, it just sounds like a bunch of gibberish. I know what it means. It's like the sound, the how.
Oh yeah.
The spelling of a sound effect.
He does
That's
do
his
that
best
in the
sauce
show,
I'll
kind
get.
of. He doesn't make.
Yeah, he does like when he's punching, he's like wham
He's the
and yeah.
He's the boss too.
But he's just in the show. He's just so lame. It's not even like explained well. He just sort of shows up to collect the bounty. But yeah, those. Oh, okay.
Yeah, and we know
Fox is a Bronze Age character. Okay, but yeah, that's like
Floyd Law's in the
way
show,
more recent.
But Deadshot is a very old character too. But they just used somebody else's Deadshot.
Yeah,
They just like he's not really
yeah, they just
Deadshot.
used the name. What was what you're saying?
I hope it's an imposter. Please be an imposter.
Well, I think there's other Hitman characters they could use that maybe might be more obscure, right? Because they really are gonna. I assume they're gonna go for more obscure characters as the season progresses. So
Deadshot.
might as
How
well.
old is that Deadshot character? Like, where is he introduced? Because he's been around a while.
Deadshot has been. I think Deadshot is a Golden Age character.
1950, June 1950.
Oh, 50. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when is the Silver Age? But yeah, I mean, because he had a different look. No, he had like a mustache and like a hat, like a.
Yeah, he looked like a cowboy kind of.
Yeah.
I think originally he was like a Western.
Because he didn't get that costume, the costume that we know.
So the modern Deadshot, like the Will Smith, the Suicide Squad, that Deadshot, the original Deadshot.
Not that one. I'm talking about like the one that was in the Suicide Squad comics.
Yeah.
The original Suicide Squad.
I think he was like a Western cowboy. Then he got like the classic Deadshot suit we're all used to right now.
Yeah, the one that's not the one that's used to right now. The one that's red and silver. That's the one I'm talking about with the iconic mask. Yeah. That one. But, yeah, let's continue.
I wonder if they're going to do something else. I mean, Deadshot will be interesting.
Because there is other Hitman. I'm gonna look it up because there's way more Hitman.
There's other Hitman.
Yeah. Because they didn't remember this show didn't use Firefly. They used Firebug because he's the more obscure arsonist, right? Which also, by the way, okay, that I just remembered. That's the character that is race bent. That's the character that's race bent. Because Firebug is black in the comic. In the show, he's like a white dude.
And the difference is, I know. Oh, I never knew that. Okay.
Yes.
Firefly, just know he's burnt all over. Firebug is not burnt.
Yeah, no, Firebug. First off, the costume in the comic or in the show it's not even the same because I'm pretty sure I'm gonna Google it right now. I think he is a Silver Age character, Firebug. He was like in the 70s. Let me go check. Firebug. Batman. Where is he? Well, there's been multiple Firebugs. Okay, that I did not know.
Oh, I didn't.
The one that I saw was black.
He was pretty much he was pretty much their Firefly.
Okay, like Bronze Age. Yeah, I just saw that. Yeah, Bronze Age.
He's pretty much their Firefly, right?
Let me check the dates because I always I always assumed the Golden Age was like 30s to like the 50s and then 50s to 70s for the Silver Age, and then is it like the late 70s is when the Bronze Age starts? Mm-hmm. Let me check.
Maybe the graphic could tell us the era.
Yeah, the Grashy is going to tell us. I'm going to also Google it to see.
Grashy's our comic historian.
Bronze Age, yeah.
You gotta, while you find out, continue this.
I think to
okay, actually, Bronze Age is 70 to 85.
Oh, okay, 70 to 85.
So the Silver Age is 56 to 70, and Golden Age is 38 to 56. So I was close, but yeah, the Silver Age ended right on the 70s, in the 70s, and then the rest of the 70s was the Bronze Age. So that's actually interesting. But yeah, let's continue.
Okay. Oh, we're worried.
LGBT character ignores Harley's very specific and unique story of how she went from a toxic, abusive relationship with the Joker to a loving and supportive one with Poison Ivy, but yet both, I think, really play into Harley's tendencies to be a groupie. And so that's usually the romantic pattern that Harley has followed. And so that's not at all in her situation with Renee Montoya. So, the relationship.
Well, yeah, she's not really a groupie.
Unleash your senses.
She's not a groupie, right?
No,
Yeah.
she's
Modern age is 86. I thought there was another age after Bronze Age. It wasn't just modern. Because then, damn, that's been going on for almost 40 years.
I didn't even know that. Well, that's wow, most of our lives.
Yeah. But I mean, it makes sense. The 80s is like
Mm-hmm.
right, it started when they got more mature and, they were more appealing to adults per se, right? Than kids.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
So, makes sense.
These relationships that I've just addressed from the comics are all really great stories, which not only were sexy, flirty, and fun, but showed us, gave us a lot of insight into the women who were involved.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay, I
Here,
wanted to
though, it
say
just
with
seems
this part again, because the show is trying to be basically whatever they did with the animated series, they're not going to replicate it, right?
No.
So it kind of makes some sense, especially because Bruce Timm is technically the original creator of Harley Quinn. It's him and Paul Dini, but you know what I
Yeah.
mean, right? He still has some ownership on the character as well. So I feel like this was him trying to be like, okay, what kind of take can we do with Harley Quinn that isn't related to the Joker, right? If she was supposed to be introduced on her own, how would that work exactly? And that's why I'm like, you know what? He did come up with some interesting ideas that, for
Well,
all I know, I haven't seen Harley Quinn implement those ideas at all, right? I don't think any writer
you gotta
has.
remember what was the reason Harley Quinn was created? To have Joker to have a sidekick to match Batman
Yeah,
and Robin. That's the reason. That's the reason.
right.
Was to have a sidekick. That's really the main reason. Unless you all know, was to have the Joker to have a sidekick.
Hmm.
It just made it more of a romantic a relationship rise because obviously
Right.
you can't do that with Batman and Robin. Obviously, they get in trouble. Obviously.
No, and they did get in trouble. Remember, Batman,
Yeah.
Robin used to be sleeping in the same bed as Batman.
Yeah. Oh my God.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
whole nother story.
Oh yeah.
They thought
But
Batman and Robin
there's
were a homosexual couple.
there was assumptions. Oh, and he was like a kid too, and so like
Yeah,
that. Yeah. Homosexual slash PEDO.
yeah. P3DO is what we
Yeah.
call it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or
seems like
Doctor
Montoya
Disrespect.
Oh my God.
and Harley have been paired up for audiences to be like, oh, that's different. There's no flirtation, there's no sparks. It doesn't, again, as I said, give us any insight into either character. It just is the relationship.
Well, it seems like they knew each other for some time, and the flirtation, like Here's the thing.
Well, I think it was Harley Quinn who was interested in her for quite some time.
Yeah, Montoya doesn't seem like a flirtation type.
No,
Um,
she's pretty closed off. That's why
yeah.
what she was saying. It was like what you're describing is the character, because
Not
that's
all
exactly what
relationships.
happens in the show.
Not all relationships develop through flirtation. That's the thing,
No,
though. Like
but Montoya is pretty like not
she's
very
no.
confident in herself, but she's trying to because I
Yeah,
mean,
because
look at she's supposed to be a good cop, but look who's getting promoted,
she
Bullock and
probably
Flask.
it's probably because she's a good cop, and also probably because it's hard for her to get promoted to detective because she's probably because she's a female too.
Right.
Because I know, I know this is a different universe, but back then there were not many female cops, especially that get
Mm,
promoted to detective rank. It
right.
was mostly men.
Well, I guess the thing is with this show, it's kind of hard to
Yeah,
implement that because yeah, they are, as like these people are saying, it's a DI Batman show.
yeah.
So, but the thing is, yeah, they don't really touch on that idea in the show. It's just sort of like she's the good cop and the mayor is kind of controlling the police, and so Gordon doesn't really have much of a say, right? And that's why Bullock and
And
Flask are promoted
and
over
Montoya,
her.
and Montoya's always been a good cop in the comics, whatever version. She's always been on the right side of the law.
Right.
She has her principles, unlike the other detectives that get promoted.
Right.
Because
Yeah, it makes
Relationship
sense.
just is. And
yeah,
so if you're going to go there, I've long been a proponent of you should really actually go there. It also doesn't help that this is the worst Harley Quinn that we've ever gotten. Whew. The
No
the Harley
way. I
Quinn
don't agree with
competition
that.
is tough. It's very tough. With so
What other Harley Quinn versions do we get?
I think the worst Harley Quinn interpretation, and this is probably an extreme hot take, is the DCEU Harley Quinn. I think that's by
That's
far the worst Harley Quinn
that's
because
so relatable to the
first, well, one, she doesn't, she's pretty aimless, especially in Birds of Prey. It
oh
doesn't
birds.
really seem like she goes anywhere as a character. It's sort of just like, oh yeah, I'm broken away from the Joker, and what am I gonna do next? And it's kind of just like meandering, doesn't really lead anywhere. And yeah, even though this is about the Birds of Prey, it's like Harley Quinn teams up with people, but
Yeah, that's her
it's really weird. That movie is weird. I think it has some good elements, but
part
Harley
of
Quinn
it.
is, and then that same idea is kind of carried over. And I do like James Gunn, the Suicide Squad, but this is the reason why at first I didn't like it. Because remember, I didn't like the Suicide Squad until I watched Peacemaker. Then I was like, oh, you know what? This kind of makes sense because the whole Peacemaker and Harley Quinn, I didn't really care for Harley Quinn in that movie. She was kind of just, I mean, it was just like, let's do the same Harley Quinn stick again. But she's like, flirting with the guys and fucking with them because, she's not really a captive, but she kind of is. It's like, I don't know. A lot of interpretations. Also, too, I mean, this is also like, this is the thing, right? It's kind of hard to distinguish these different versions of Harley Quinn because after the animated series, the only evolution really of the character is the fact that she broke away from the Joker and now
Yeah,
she's a anti or well, one, she joined the Suicide Squad because she wasn't on the Suicide Squad. And then, obviously she has this relationship with Poison Ivy and that's pretty much it. And they always are keep focusing on the fact that she's broken up with the Joker. What is she gonna do? And they never answer it. She never becomes
yeah,
a flat out villain. She's on the Suicide Squad sometimes, I guess. She's on Birds of Prey. Currently, she's on Birds of Prey. So I don't really know. I think this one, it was like at least there was something new to the character where it's like, okay, finally, we're seeing Harley Quinn as a villain to Batman without the Joker. How is that going
yeah,
to work? Um, Gotham Knights also had a pretty weird interpretation of Harley Quinn. Not a fan of that one either. Harley Quinn in general, I just think most people don't know what to do with her, so they just do the same thing that was already done. You know what I mean? It's like why fix what's broken? But there's a lot to fix, in my opinion.
yeah, yeah. Grace looking roped his hair. Oh my god.
Oh man.
Ah, oh man.
so far, up
leave a
until this
like.
point, every creative team well, I guess they did try and do this, but
I
they
like
just really
the thing
missed.
is,
But every creative team that's gotten a
I
crack,
like the idea that's Harley Quinn punishing the men who look down at people.
Yeah.
You're gonna taste
I
your own
mean her
medicine.
clients, that was the part that was interesting.
Yeah, the clients, because you
Her
could tell like
patients.
in her patience, she could tell like she's frustrated with her patients and her attitude, right? Most of them, you
Hmm.
could her patients are probably mostly um well most of the patients she's probably gets are these people that she locks up,
Right.
rich up,
Wealthy,
wealthy, yeah, and
yeah,
she's and you
generational wealth kind of
and you
people.
could tell in their interviews that they don't care.
Yeah, they're so out of touch that she is like offended at how
Yeah,
out of touch they are because yeah, the one guy is like, I don't really care about my employees and fuck them. Like who really cares, right? She's like, what? You don't even like have some sympathy? It's just like, no, right? So it makes sense. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of it's interesting because again, there's villains in this show that are very sympathetic and are kind of doing what Batman's doing, right? But it's like they cross that line. There's a line that's crossed, and that's what
yeah,
makes them different. But then when you compare them to like Gentleman Ghost, who's just a straight up villain, right? He's
straight up
just like
jerk.
fuck the poor, and I'm gonna rob them, right?
Yeah, Yeah.
That's literally his MO. He just doesn't give a shit. But Harley
Yeah.
Quinn is more a little bit like, yeah, there's a little bit more nuance there. It's not just like, fuck
She's not. Yeah.
these people. It's like, yeah, I
It's
want,
not like she doesn't. It's not like she's just punishing the wealthy and looked down upon. That's why she's not punishing Bruce Wayne, because like she doesn't
right.
believe, because she believes Bruce Wayne is actually generally a good person.
Well, I think the reason why is because she sees herself in Bruce Wayne. Because she
Yeah,
points that out multiple times, not to Bruce Wayne, but to Batman. She
because she
says that
doesn't.
we're very similar, and she doesn't know that it's Bruce Wayne.
Because she doesn't. Yeah, yeah, and she doesn't believe in Bruce Wayne's shit when he was telling her.
Yeah.
When,
She
yeah,
was like, there's something else, and most people are wanting to complain about their life, but you aren't. And that's because, well, he's Batman, and
hmm
he
yeah,
doesn't
Taylor. Yeah,
complain. His complaining is kind of resolved because he's Batman,
yeah.
right? Instead of complaining, he actually goes and does the shit that,
And
the change that he wants.
Bruce doesn't look down at people too. Well,
No, we don't
as
really get
Batman, he
much of
doesn't.
that though.
Well, he does though at Alfred, kind of.
Yeah, I mean, he is helping.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, he wasn't. I mean, there was another part of the show that was kind of like, I don't know. This is definitely a different Batman because when they're the kids in the fire, like he didn't just be like, I'm gonna grab you and we're gonna get out of here. He was like, make your way down the stairs. And I know that's like a minor thing, but it just felt like Batman would kind of stop whatever he's doing, no matter what it was, to help that family. Or at least that's the interpretations that we've seen so many times where, yeah, even though he's fighting the villain, he's probably going to help the innocent people first. So, yeah,
Fat
OG
Alfred.
Fat Alfred,
Is
yeah.
that what you're gonna call Fat Alfred? Man, I don't want
At
Fat
this
Alfred.
rate, Fat Alfred.
Fat Alfred, Fat Albert, Fat Alfred.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bracken Harley has tried to entice fans' interest by doing something very different with the character or adding a very different element. And then also trying to, in that way, hopefully contribute to Harley Quinn's legacy, which is growing exponentially because everyone wants to take a crack at the character. But wow, all I can think is that Bruce Timm has totally misunderstood fans' criticisms of some of his recent creepier work. And
Which, by the
therefore, it's
way,
almost
pause. It's funny she mentions this because I saw on Thread someone mentioned the reason why they didn't like the show was because they said that it felt like they were trying to make an excuse for Bruce Timm's creepiness, which, yeah, like you have her saying this and then someone saying the total opposite. They were trying to say, oh, the reason why Barbara's aged up is so Batman can be with Barbara, but
oh, effort, yeah.
Barbara, I mean, there's no like any sort of reference to a flirtation with Batman and Barbara. So, like, I don't even know why that person said that. I think that was a little bit of just like them thinking that, like, oh, she's aged up. She's not, a young adult or a teenager. So that must mean that they're gonna bone at some point. But
Oh,
no, I don't think so. That doesn't even fit the
uh,
tone of the show.
yeah. Well, like, we don't know yet. We don't know who's gonna be love interest. I mean, they still got Catwoman's locked up. Um,
I mean, I'm definitely going to be wrong, but I feel like maybe there isn't going to be a love interest because maybe the love interests are just like random, actresses and famous people Bruce is hooking up with. Because if you think about it, like Catwoman, I mean, Degrassi could correct me, but Catwoman's relationship with Batman wasn't that like something that came much later? Like, I don't think that was in the Golden Age.
mhm.
I mean, like I said, I could be wrong, but I feel like this Batman really wouldn't have a love interest. I mean, maybe they just make a Catwoman like how it always is, but I don't know. It just seems like every interpretation does that. So why not do something different then?
Oh, he said
And
he's
I
got
mean, and don't do the Batgirl thing either, because that's just
every
fucking
male
stupid.
superhero gets a love interest at some point.
Yeah, but I
It's
I don't know.
so
It's not
so cliche.
you like I don't know. It is cliche. So it's like I mean, obviously it's Batman.
I've been proponent at times feeling that exactly need love interest in every comic book thing, but
Well, this first season didn't do it at all.
no.
Besides, obviously, Bruce Wayne having all those different actresses. But yeah, So I
Man,
mean, it would be interesting if he didn't.
one lucky guy gets to date models, actresses, socialites. Man,
Right. I mean, what other villains
Almost,
could
it's
Batman date
almost
that's not
a
Catwoman? Would it even be a villain?
well, would he take the risk of adding Talia, a
Yeah, I
ghoul?
also was thinking about would they put Ra's al Ghul in this stuff? I'm not sure.
Yeah. Um.
I mean, it's
offensive
possible
how he
no
seems to have
Batman villain is
reacted
off
to
the
that
table.
Yeah.
criticism. And
So
he is, as a result, seems to have stripped all the interesting elements, all of them out of Harley Quinn. Like he's like, if I can't make her wildly inappropriate, I have no interest in the character. And you're like, what have you done, Bruce, to the character that you co-created? This Harley Quinn is Harley in name only. I guess she's also a psychiatrist who wears a jester costume, but it's almost, again, insulting to the character of Harley. And again, they made the character Asian, which should have been fantastic and exciting and fun. Look at what they're doing over with the anime with Harley Quinn. So you're
oh
like,
yeah, I
why
forgot
is
about that
this?
show. I haven't been
Yeah.
watching it, but yeah, they have the animated Suicide Squad.
It's so weird.
Would
Why
be
is she
cool if
like?
Marvel got an anime. I mean, they did that before in the past.
It's so weird. She's Asian, but her name is Harlan Krenzel. Like that doesn't sound Asian at
Yeah.
all.
Well, I mean, this show is kind of like that. They want to make it diverse, but it's not like,
But
she's gonna
yeah, but
have an Asian name, right?
if you're gonna make it diverse, make it realistic at least. Like if you have an Asian
Yeah.
character, have like unless they're adopted or something. I mean, like you know, um, gotta make it look at least a little real.
Uh,
Eh,
I mean, again, I don't think the show is grounded, but it's not going for realistic.
but
It's
yeah,
going for, just like the Batman, impressionistic, where it's more stylized to a certain degree, even though it feels grounded,
yeah. Let's
right?
continue.
Makes sense.
What you've chosen to do here. And you're not doing that community any favors by this being that version of Harley Quinn and it being so unsuccessful.
I
She's
don't really
absolutely
agree,
no
but I guess
fun.
that's the consensus, right? Because the
Yeah,
consensus is, yeah, they didn't like this interpretation. Um, I see what she's saying here, but again, it's like the idea is like, hey, let's do a
and
different take on the character.
do people like some people don't like Harley Quinn. I think they just have a fascination, like, oh, yeah, he's Joker's girlfriend. He just be with Joker and be like, he's basically an object to her. Like it's like a BDSM relationship or something like that. Like
Well, if
Dom.
you think about it, I mean, well, let me like let's look at this again, because if you
Just
really think about
properly.
it, out of all the big characters who do show up, Harley Quinn is the one who's the most radically different,
Yes, yes, very radically
right?
different. Yeah,
But I think that, and I do think that's because there isn't really much you could do with Harley Quinn once you remove the Joker,
yeah,
the Joker connection. I mean, like I said, every single interpretation of this last 10 years, 20 years with Harley
yeah,
Quinn being introduced in other mediums, once she leaves the Joker, they really don't do much with her. I mean, look at Arkham Knight. Again, this stuff I do like, but I'm saying Harley Quinn as a character and those stuff is never the highlight. But when Joker's there and she's with Joker, it's a totally different story. So that's why I think it's a problem with how people interpret the character. It's just she's so the story works so well with her being with the Joker. When you remove her from the Joker, what is there? What
yeah,
is there? It's either she's still obsessed with the Joker or she leaves the Joker and then she's just aimless. She's not even really going after Batman in most of these stories as well. I mean,
no,
eh, I
no,
mean, there
not
were
at all.
some Elseworld stories like Batman. What is it, White Knight, where a Batman or a Joker sort of gives up being Joker. Um, so
Yes,
and
yes, yes.
she was in that comic, or that, because it's two comics, and she was in that, and she was still with Joker, but it was a little bit different, right? It was still the same though, but a little bit different. So I don't know. I think the character. I mean, a lot of these characters have years and decades. on them more so than Harley Quinn. So she's still like an evolving character. It's
This
just
is the youngest Bane. Like
yeah.
in terms
Well,
of like
she's
recent
yeah. Well,
stories.
when was she introduced? Was it
The animated
93 or
series.
two as well?
Yeah, the
No,
animated
I
series.
know that, but what year?
It might be 92. I think the animated series came in 92. It might be 92.
92. Yeah. So yeah, she actually does predate Bane. It's
Yeah.
pretty crazy.
Yeah.
Just by a couple of months, but yeah.
As a Gotham villain or as a civilian. I mean, I'm not to say she doesn't have a moment here and there, but overall, you're like, just what a miss. And that the show misses the
It
mark
is a
with her to
miss.
such a degree and doesn't get any of the
Well,
other
no, it's
female
not a miss.
characters or
What
the
the fuck am I
big
saying?
Mm-mm.
Because I do
She's
like
a
it, but
Smith.
yeah.
Yeah.
female characters right. Barbara doesn't get to be Batgirl this season. Catwoman really only appears for one episode. That it strips out almost all of the female energy from the original show, from this show. And, that was a big part of the original success. It's weird to have, I mean, the Harley Quinn show is
I don't
almost
know. I don't really
entirely
agree with
like
this. I
female
feel like
energy.
I
she's
mean,
saying that to downplay. She's downplaying the fact that Barbara appears in almost every episode, like close to every episode. Maybe there's like 2 episodes she's not
she's a main
in
character.
particular. Like she's
Yeah.
a main character. Yeah, for her to downplay
And,
Barbara Gordon is like astonishing.
and Batman trusts her.
Yeah,
He truly,
he actually goes to her more than Jim Gordon.
yeah.
So
Many
yeah,
Harley Quinns. Yeah, yeah. You
I didn't know that there was many Harley Quinns, but this interpretation of the character is what we're uh I mean it's Bruce Timm with the show. It's I mean I think he's playing on the fact that yeah, the character is associated with the Joker. I mean, why else would you make this choice?
you don't have to have the love interest in the first season right away. Like we already know it's the
Yeah.
second season. Julia Dent's the Joker's daughter. Yeah.
Yeah, the Joker's daughter, yeah. Weird character.
But this one is like totally devoid of it. So it's weird. And it's weird, Bruce Timm has so much been a part.
Batman never really had a major love interest in the anime series. I mean, but they weren't like big, overly featured in the show. They were Selena Kyle and
Right.
Talia al Ghul here and there, but they weren't like heavily featured in the show, like as a main love interest in the anime series. Actually,
Well, I mean, the thing is, Catwoman is technically a love interest in the anime series because, and
but
Bruce Timm does acknowledge that because, first off, I didn't know this. I was watching some videos and I was kind of blown away. This ties into Batman Beyond, but there was supposed to be another Batman Beyond movie where Catwoman was going to be the main villain, and it was going to be revealed that, uh, God, fucking damn, what's his name? Who's the new Batman? Oh my God, I forget his name.
Terry McGinnis.
Terry McGinnis. Yeah. Terry McGinnis was actually a clone that was created by Catwoman. Now, again,
That's
this is
really
not
sad.
canon. This never happened, but that was in the comics. Like they added that idea in the comics. And I remember when that happened, I was like, "Oh, that's fucking stupid that you would make Terry McGinnis just a clone of Bruce Wayne." But that was the original intention
And they
to
did
do.
do that.
Yeah, they did, but it was totally different from what we were going to get. And Catwoman, the reason why she cloned Terry McGinnis was because she did love Bruce Wayne and she loved Batman. And so there was actually multiple clones of Terry McGinnis, and Terry McGinnis was going to go up against like I guess his brother who was also in love with Catwoman. It was really weird, but
That's messed up.
yeah,
The
it was
movie's
weird.
messed up too, man. Return of the Joker. That's messed up.
Yeah.
Man, all of a sudden we get 19 people watching. What's happening here?
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right?
22 people
But
watching.
because yeah, I mean, Paul Dini's not really involved with this stuff, so I could see that Degrassi.
Yeah.
Part of his persona from the animated series to his own fan personal art that it's
And
gotten
Paul
him in
Dini
trouble.
was the one that
And so I
brought
don't understand
Harley
why
Quinn to
he's
the
just gone
comics,
so
not
far in the
Bruce
other
Timm.
direction
Yeah.
that it's equally as big a problem. So yes, Batman Cape Crusader is a bit of a sausage fest, and not a particularly sexy one either. You know, it's not like
Sasha's best, but sex. That's funny.
She
they
just says
brought in
that because
a
she
fun
doesn't
and
like the
flirty
female
aspect in
characters
that regard.
from the show.
Yeah,
That's
but
really it. Like to say that there's no female characters or no female characters get a major role is, I think that's flat out dishonest. You just don't like what they do with the characters. That's it. Like, but don't say like, oh yeah, this is like it's only focused on the guys. When it's funny because there seems to be a lot of weird criticisms, like the opposites, right? People say the total opposites about the show, and that's their criticism. There's people who are saying that Batman isn't even really in the show a lot, and
yeah,
that
he
it's
is.
more. Well, that's a criticism that is being levied against the show, which I don't agree with. But that's the criticism that, oh yeah, Batman is not really the main focus, and there's some
Yeah, it is.
yeah, I know, but I'm
Mm,
saying that's the criticism,
I
and
know.
her
I'm just.
criticism is the total opposite. So that's what I'm saying. It's just like I don't know what the fuck is going on where people can't really agree on certain things. She said most of the people can agree, but it's funny because it seems like people aren't over CC.
Cape Crusader.
Okay,
I think.
Crusader.
I
Sorry.
almost read it as Captain Cold. I'm like,
I was confused. I was confused. I was like, huh? See, oh yeah, I forgot. Okay, Crusader.
yeah, he's right though. I mean,
Yeah,
he
he
does kick
is.
ass.
I mean, besides the seventh episode, which he's not, I mean, he's
Yeah,
not really in the episode a ton, but outside of that, yeah, he's in the
Babs,
show quite
Harris,
a lot.
Oz, Montoya.
Yeah,
yeah,
that's what we were just saying. I don't really understand what she's saying here.
This Oswald, even though it's a female Oswald, man, she's ruthless, man. You don't want to mess with her. She's willing to do her own kids. Like,
Right,
yeah,
and then also Nocturno was in the show as well. Obviously,
yeah.
she's a kid, but then we also had all the Robins, and they do feature both female
Except Tim
Robins.
Drake.
So yeah, except Tim Drake. But you know what I mean, right? I mean, the
Yeah,
point is they feature the female Robins, right?
yeah. Stephanie
Um,
Brown and Carrie Kelly.
Stephanie Brown and
And
yeah, and
Carrie
yes, they
Kelly
don't have
looks.
a major role, but still.
Carrie Kelly looks like a Zach carbon copy um of the from Batman Dark Knight Returns, like the glasses and the hair.
Yeah.
I mean,
Peace, Red.
Peace Red, have a good sleep. I'm
You can
going
go
to play
play Ghost of
UFC.
Tsushima.
Oh, see, whatever. Batman try. Yeah, yeah. He tries to punch Ghost. Yeah, Gentleman Ghost.
Yeah.
You do see that.
Yeah, they're in the eighth
Yeah,
episode with Nocturnal.
Carrie's the one with the stink shot. Remember the stink shot?
Yeah. And Stephanie Brown is the girl that Bruce
With the
Wayne is
blonde
looking
hair.
for because she went
Yeah,
missing. Yeah.
the blonde hair. Yeah. I mean, I guess there's no Clue Master. This is a different character, Clue Master, because we know Clue Master is
Yeah,
her father, right? Right?
right. Clue Master could be in the show though.
Could be,
As
yeah.
another character.
You know what? They can always go back to orphanage, and yeah, they consider orphans, but what if one of their parents actually was alive?
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah,
Oh, that's interesting you said that.
Yeah, Carrie was the best because Carrie was like, she doesn't take no shit. She was like,
Oh yeah, in the show. Yeah.
yeah.
I get what you're saying now.
Carrie knew something was up with her, with Nocturna.
Yeah, that's why I was
Valley.
thinking, oh, would they, instead of Dick Grayson being the Robin, maybe she's the Robin in the future.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
But
you
who
think
knows?
they're setting stuff up? Like we'll see them.
Yeah, we'll see. Because I mean, who really
Right.
knows,
You know-
right?
Oh, because I kind of when I saw Dick Grayson, I kind of popped when I saw him. Oh my god, we're getting Robin this early. I didn't know.
Yeah, Dick
I didn't know
Grayson,
that
and they even made Jason a redhead.
Yeah, Jason's a
like
redhead.
classic Jason.
I'm like Jason, and then I'm like later on Stephanie and Carrie. I'm like, what are you doing here? You got a multiple Robins? So
Yeah.
can you imagine Batman adopts 4 Robins and has like a Robin squad?
Oh man, Robin Squad. They did do that comic, if anybody remembers. We Are Robin, where everybody just
Oh.
became Robin, and it was just like a free for all.
Hey,
It was like
Batman-
every fucking poor kid in Gotham became Robin
Hey.
that day.
Batman's becoming Nightwing in the comics.
Yeah, that was dumb as fuck, but I mean I get it, but it was just like it felt more like a joke, and I'm sure it's not gonna stick. I mean, they got a lot on the horizon, so
I could protect Gotham and Bud Haven. Like what the hell?
yeah,
Batman, you're not even Superman can protect two cities at once.
yeah, and he's supposed to be Batman and Nightwing at the same time. Like, how's that gonna work?
Oh my god, you're trying to make him a literal god. Like,
Yeah, it was just like
uh,
really, it was just like a what the fuck, seriously.
yeah,
Like kind of to the way X-Men 97, speaking of X-Men 97, the way that show did or does.
Mhm.
So, but it's, it does reflect, I'd say, older 1940s film noirs. I mean, those were definitely, I mean, if you watch some of them, they certainly have a lot of sex appeal. But also, those films
Yeah,
typically
that is
had,
true.
when speaking of
yeah,
female characters, a femme fatale and one good girl. And I guess here that would be Catwoman and Barbara Gordon, which is maybe when I think about it,
yeah. Catwoman would definitely be the femme fatale, the forbidden love.
Hmm.
I could see that. Barbara Gordon might be the straight. I don't know if they'll do the thing. They might actually develop a relationship. But
Well, there you go. Well, that's why that person made that comment. Because yeah,
yeah,
yeah, but you don't see that in the show. That's why I was like, really? Like, there's no like any reference to them being in any sort of way like flirty or like I'm into you. Nothing, none of that. So, I mean, they did focus a lot on Barbara and Batman, but it was not in that way. So, I don't know. It's just funny that people have, she's saying one thing and then someone else is saying something totally different, right,
hmm
about the show. So, but I don't really
why they're
see
characters.
people talking about Penguin as much as people. I mean, besides the anti-woke people, which we already knew they were going to say that. Like once you see a character who's fucking black, they're gender bent or whatever, they're going to make a stink, even though they technically don't care because again, why are they hyping up No Way Home and Deadpool and Wolverine
yeah.
when those series have race bent characters? Just saying.
I mean, the Batman's done that, so
Yeah. I mean, and they're
Work
pretty
the best
positive on the
because they do
Batman.
fit the film noir
yeah, yeah.
formula. Christina Ricci, who doesn't get nearly enough attention for the exciting adult actress that she's become, I love her so much.
Adult
She
actress. That doesn't sound right. Adult
Mm,
actress.
because she was a kid actress.
Oh yeah, but she was a kid actress, but that was years ago, man. She's been an adult for what? Since like
Made her
late
sound like a porn
'90s.
star.
Yeah, adult actress sounds like a porn star, but she's been an adult actress as an adult what since the late '90s, right? Huh?
Since the late 90s. That's like almost
Yeah,
fucking
because
30 years ago.
she was in love in. I know, like she was a child actress. I mean, like what she was Wednesday, right? As a teenager,
Right.
but I remember her as like in Sleepy Hollow as a love interest to Johnny Depp. I'm pretty sure she wasn't a child actress then. Like
No.
Christina Ricci
No.
is
Well, no. Yeah, no.
Christina Ricci.
I'm curious. Sleepy Hollows. I haven't seen Sleepy
She's
Hollows.
44 years old.
Oh yeah, she's.
She's still relatively young, but she's been around long. Well, she's 44 years old.
No,
What's she
she
called?
was. She was not. She was not. She was. Had to have been at least like. No, no. Yeah. What is she talking about? Grace Rondo. What is she talking about? Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's like 30 years ago at this point.
yeah. She wasn't.
No.
Yeah, she's at least 14. She's 44 now, right? Um,
Adam's family was 90,
first born
91.
91.
So yeah, that's like
33 years ago.
33 years ago.
44. So
I think
44 to
people's perceptions of time, I
11.
mean,
11, right?
yeah. So that's a while ago.
I say so
And
late.
yeah, Sleepy Hollows was 90, was it 98?
Sleepy
99.
Hollow
She
99,
was
I
grown
believe.
up. She was at least
That's
18, more than
25 years
18 then.
ago, right? No, eight.
Yeah.
That's 25 years ago. She was she was 19 then. I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
She's.
probably around
I
that
get.
age.
I guess she's. I guess. But like, it's such a weird thing to say, though. But
It
you
is
know
a
what?
weird thing now.
Adult
I'm
actress.
gonna
It's
see
so
how old
weird.
she was in Sleepy Hollows.
It's just the way adult actress. I didn't know she did adult movies. So I'm kidding.
So someone has it here. Because yeah, I guess you know what she's probably thinking of, like Johnny Depp. So Johnny Depp had about okay, he was like 11 years older than her.
Was he?
Um,
Oh yeah, Johnny Depp is older than her.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, hold on.
All right. Let's continue on.
She is a great Catwoman, and I love a lot of the changes made to her character. Although, side note, how many people in this Gotham have a right-hand butler or maid? It kind of became like a running joke while
Yeah, that
watching the
was also
show.
pretty
You
funny.
too?
Yeah, yeah.
Is there a union? This is nuts. But weirdly, Alfred never talked to any of the other ones, which I thought maybe he should have.
Yeah, they should have a social circle.
Social circle. Oh man,
They
these
get, they get,
people will get caught and busted for their fucking crimes. They had a a social circle going on. Holy shit. Okay, let's see. Yeah, she was
or
19, by the way.
or
Sleepy Hollows.
if it was in our time, did we have like a DM group chat on Twitter or something? Twitter.
Yeah, talking mad shit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, the American Society of Butlers. There you go, Sam. They're like the Justice League, but for I don't know, keeping their fucking criminals in check. Their criminal clients.
No, or yeah, they're really the charge of the people they serve.
Yeah, the Catwoman one,
Jeez,
she was, yeah, she robbed her blind. That was funny as hell.
I loved it
It's
though.
just like, yeah, I loved it. I love that one.
What was her name?
And then she was
Greta.
like, "She fucking thief." Yeah, Greta. It's like, yeah, what do you think you're doing, Besh?
All right,
What do you
the
think
only
you're
problem
doing?
with her cat.
Oh yeah, she wasn't getting paid for like what 3 months because Catwoman had no money.
Yeah, she was robbing that lady. And
Yeah.
then she had the nerve to call her a thief when she took, she's like, I'm collecting my overdue payment. And I sold off all your shit. It was funny. It was funny, but yeah.
Catwoman is the costume. Now, I get that it's a nod to the original look in the comics, but it's also not very fun or flirty. I mean, I guess it's very 1940s, but
Cry about it.
Here's the thing. Women in the 1940s were known to be more classy, or it's perceived to be more classy. 1940s, 50s than
Yeah.
flirty.
Well, she had
Right.
heels and it was like,
Yeah.
damn, that does not look convenient.
Yeah. It's not really later till after the 50s, 40s, 50s, where women would tend to more like, I guess, more revealing, more flirty, stuff like
Yeah.
that.
I mean, the thing is, like, Grace is, in my opinion, it's like complaining about the style that they pick, right? I mean, if they're trying to be authentic to the golden age style,
Look, she has
yeah,
cleavage.
changing it up, I don't think would make sense.
She has cleavage, Grace. What more do you want?
Preferably not cleavage, is what I assume.
At least they didn't use the original Catwoman. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, costume.
Yeah, they didn't like
why
it,
would
it would
someone
have
who's
never
a
made any sense. That's why it's like
Yeah,
weird for her to complain about this.
yeah.
I don't think it was that weird. It makes sense. This is all golden age. I mean, I would say this is like a minor thing. I never got to say this in our spoiler thing, but I kind of wish Batman had the purple gloves. I'm a big fan of the purple gloves.
Hmm.
I always loved that detail. So kind of wish it was there. It would definitely stick out on Batman, but I mean, hey, it's a detail from the golden age, so why not?
thief who's running across the rooftops wear this outfit? It makes no sense. And
No,
there's
it
so many
doesn't,
other
but
great
that's kind of the point.
Um, there's a guy dressed in a bat costume when he went on rooftops too. His name is Batman.
Yeah.
Alfred doesn't have any friend in BTA. Yeah, he does have friends in Batman anime series. That one lady time in Poison Ivy. Oh, that's true.
Right.
Little boys in the Justice League.
Bruh.
I'm sure he has friends. I think that lady was this his friend or like did he establish that
Little
lady?
boys. His friends are little boys. That don't sound
Yeah,
right.
why is Bruce Wayne never that? Oh, wasn't there one episode where he went back to London because he used to be in the he used to be like in the
Yeah, in the army.
MI6 or
Yes.
Army or MI6, right? There's different interpretations. Where it used to be like MI6 or Army. I think the one the Batman was
Yeah,
MI6.
that's the idea that came from the serials, right? That
Yeah,
Alfred was a lot more skinnier and he had military experience.
yeah.
But yeah, this interpretation is like the
Catwoman
classic Alfred. He's just fat
But
and he's a butler. That's it.
this Alfred is no way has military experience.
Yeah, because if you think about it, you know what? It actually makes a lot more sense that this Batman can be a little bit more mouthy to Alfred because if he got the Alfred that we all know, Bruce Wayne will be getting slaps in the face, man.
Oh
Like,
yeah, yes.
be like, "Shut up, boy!" Just slap him. Like, yeah, there's no way. That's how you know this is a different
He
Alfred.
would talk back. Yeah, he would talk back to that. He would talk back. Definitely, Andy Serkis would definitely talk back to
Yeah.
that.
Well, any Alfred, or not the fat one, but the one that we're all used to, right? The skinny one, the animated
Yeah,
series one. You're right. He looks
yeah,
calm and
yeah.
collected, but that's because he's a badass.
Even the Arkham one,
Yeah, the Arkham one.
he
Yeah,
talks
but
back one. In Origins, he talks back to him.
yeah, I mean, that's what I mean. He would be like, "Boy, don't fucking play with
Oh,
me.
his cousin,
I'll
yeah.
slap the shit out of you." That's what he would do.
He's like, "Hey,
For real, he would.
Joker, you don't scare me. There's only one person that scares me, my butler."
Oh man.
Superman.
Someone needs to have that joke.
Hey,
Like
you know what?
Batman talking shit to Alfred. See
The
what
Flash is
happens.
like, Superman. You know, Batman doesn't fear you, right? There's only one
Yeah.
person that Bruce fears, and that is his butler.
The original one, like let me go check. Let's see.
Original Catwoman.
Catwoman.
Okay, you do it.
Cause yeah, I thought it was what it was in the show, right? Let me go
Yeah.
check.
costumes to pull from. I mean, they could have done something totally new if they wanted to, but this one just doesn't work.
Oh,
But
okay,
at least
hold
she
on.
and
Let me
Batman have
see.
some.
Well, yeah, the first cover of Catwoman is what's in the show.
Yeah.
She's got the cape and the green and all that stuff. But hold on. Is there something else that you're referring to, Pete? Because I'm looking for it right now.
Yes, exactly. You think you know everything about me? I type for your bomb.
Yeah. Yeah, this Alfred, I'm afraid, was a bitch. He took that. He didn't say shit when he was calling him Pennyworth. I'm sure that threw off everybody when Bruce said Pennyworth. You're like, what?
What? Yeah. What? I was like, what an
Yeah, that
asshole.
threw me off. I was like, wait, what? Like,
That's what I'm like.
ain't no way he said that.
Yeah. You know, he acted like Damien because Damien called Alfred Pennyworth.
Yeah, now and the thing is, you can't slap Damien. That's the problem, right? That kid needs a slap in the head, bro. Like, he's fucking annoying. I'm sorry, I'm not the biggest fan of Damian Wayne, but he's just like he can talk all that shit because he'll fucking kill you. That's why.
Yeah,
That's why he's allowed to say that.
He backs up the talk. Yes.
Yeah. Sure, like fuck. Someone should be writing these jokes in these movies though, when they have all these characters, because it's like this is what we all been thinking.
You know what's more powerful than Superman?
Oh yeah, the classic. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
You know what's more powerful than Superman,
from the show.
everybody? You know what's Lex Luthor? You know what's more powerful than Superman? Batman's butler.
Yeah, you see, even Elite Easy is saying this. That fucking Damien, he's a slap too. Like, like he's just so fucking
meme.
like.
You know that meme of Batman slapping Robin? It's
Yeah,
slapping his own
that's
son.
what it needs. You know what? That's a perfect bow cherry on top.
I'm gonna slap the League of Assassins, League of Assassin out of you.
Yeah, I'm gonna slap you, boy. Like, get over here.
Here, you're gonna live with the Flash, and you're gonna beg to come back to live with me.
Like, god damn.
Really great
But yeah,
interactions on this show.
Alfred needed to slap
So
Bruce.
since Batman Cape
Yeah.
Crusader is all about the dudes, though, let's talk some of the dudes. Hamish Linklater, great actor, is doing an excellent Kevin Conroy impersonation. I think that's one of the things that makes it feel very much like Batman the Animated Series. Although I don't know if he'll
Yeah.
jump to other projects like Conroy did. Conroy voiced Batman in so many
Probably
mediums
not.
because he was considered,
I think he
rightfully
needs to be a
so,
little bit
the quintessential
more
Batman voice.
energetic for that, because he is a
No, the
very
thing is,
soft-speaking Batman.
but he also is an actual actor that does live actor stuff. But Kevin Conroy doesn't really do that.
Right.
Like this guy's been in other stuff. So
Yeah, I'm not. I mean, well, to be fair, it's not like we've seen an actor do, voice other characters. Like, what's his name? Matthew. He's in Scream. He's Shaggy. He's played Shaggy.
Oh, Matthew Lillard.
Lillard, yeah, Matthew Lillard. You see, this is why I can't even say his last name. God fucking damn it, Lillard. There we go. Yeah, he's
Yeah, he
voiced
plays Shaggy.
Shaggy in animated movies,
Yeah.
and I mean, he's continued to voice the character, which I think is pretty impressive, right? So,
The thing is, Kevin
if they
Conroy.
if some actors, if they really like the character, they will continue to voice them. So
Yeah.
that
That's
was my
true.
point. But yeah,
Voice. I think that Linklater is a good approximation for this show, but he does miss
Right.
the strong masculine edge that I think that Conroy brought to the material.
fair.
Linklater, though, is
Fair.
particularly good as Bruce Wayne. And that his work combined with the animation and the dialogue for Bruce
Oh, I was
makes
gonna
those
say
scenes extremely.
when another part that I didn't like was that yes, he also kind of was like very mean to Alfred, but he would also do the Batman voice with Alfred,
Yeah, he
right?
would.
Which I get was to distinguish himself, like to keep a distance, but it just felt so off. It was just like, why are you doing that with him? Like it feels so disrespectful. It's like treating him like a fucking villain, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna do the Batman impression to you, my fucking father
Because
figure.
Alfred only knows because Alfred's the only one that knows that Batman is Bruce Wayne, so might as well just not do the act of being
Yeah,
Bruce Wayne. Because he is like that, right? Even when he's around Alfred, when it's not doing Batman stuff, but they're in their manor or
right,
penthouse, he's acting like Batman when he's out of the
right.
costume. His
Well,
real self.
Elite Easy brings up something that this there's a moment in
Yeah.
the ninth episode where Bruce says that. But did you? Because this is what when I saw that I thought that was actually Harvey's kind of like other side, like his split personality was like almost like hallucinating a bit because it felt like it was so like
Yes,
quick
that's what I thought.
and it was like so different to the how Bruce Wayne was talking to him because he was talking to him like a genuine friend. And then when he says, "Oh, don't grow conscious now, Harvey," it didn't feel like Bruce. So I wonder if you thought the
That's how
same
I
too
thought.
because that's what I was thinking, that it wasn't really Bruce saying that. It was Harvey
Yes,
thinking it. But they
I was
never did that again though. That's the thing. It was only
no.
once.
Yeah,
So yeah.
yeah. That's what I thought too.
Yeah, because it was
Well
so
done.
like
And I
quick.
always feel the best Batman
Yeah.
projects have as good a handle on Bruce as they do Batman. The changes to Alfred and the Penguin, I don't want to talk about it too much here because, I don't want to give anything away. But I'll just say that it seems less about servicing the characters and, again, more about getting people to talk about the show. I guess they feel there's no such thing as
the thing
bad
is about
publicity.
Alfred, like I said in the previous episode, what was the gentleman ghost talking about? That there's a secret that Alfred has that Bruce doesn't
Yeah.
know. That's what I want to know. I'm like, are they going to
Yeah.
explore that? Because that does seem interesting.
Does Gentleman Ghost know that Bruce Wayne is Batman then?
Hmm?
Does he know that
Well,
Bruce
I
Wayne is
think, well, the thing is the way he worded it, because at first I thought he was talking about, oh, like Alfred is trying to fight off the thought of uh Bruce being Batman. But then when he says, "Oh no, this is like something that you don't even know," then I was like, "Oh, what is that? Like, is that gonna come back again?" Like, but it didn't. It didn't come back at all. So, like, I wonder, like, was it maybe was Alfred like resentful to Bruce because he was like, Bruce wasn't treating him well. Like, I don't know. It was a weird line, so I thought it would come back, but I guess not.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe he knows, like, maybe Alfred's hiding something, kind of like Andy Serkis's Alfred. It's kind of
Right.
hiding something. Um, but the parents, like, maybe that caused his parents' death.
Hmm.
I would say neither one of them is like it's not like Harley Quinn. Neither one is bad, but they just don't work. You're like, I see that you were trying to do something interesting here, but it failed. And it kind of hurts both those characters a little bit. But I do like how much more violent.
I mean, I don't really think it hurts Penguin. I mean, yeah, it's gender bent, but the Penguin's pretty. Yeah, it's a mother, but the Penguin pretty much is the Penguin, hiding, pretending to be straight, but it's really a criminal, part of the criminal underworld too. Like,
Right.
right? The Iceberg Lounge is front, and that's Penguin. I mean, yeah, they changed the gender, but and she
Well,
is a
at
mother.
least they did something with it. That's what I mean. Like the whole like
I-
with her kids. Yeah, that could have easily just been random thugs, and it
I'm
would have never had any
surprised.
impact.
The thing
But
I'm surprised. I'm
here it
surprised
did.
they only use. I'm surprised they only used her in the first episode. The first episode. I thought it was gonna be used a little bit more in the show because of the
Yeah,
war with Uber Thor and stuff. I don't know.
yeah, that is
Of the
fair.
show
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, right. Unlike the animated series, criminals do not harmlessly fall onto canopies or into the water. The stakes are very high. And also, I was shocked that one classic Batman supporting character, who has typically been helpful in the past, here is made a villain. And I was like wow,
Bullock?
that was
Yeah. She's talking
surprising.
about
I'm still
Bullock.
not quite sure how I even feel about it. But that worked because I have mixed emotions about it, but I find it compelling, and I think that it was organic and really developed in the show. And I do want to see where they go with
And
that. Whereas the
also,
other stuff,
Bullock was kind of like, as you were saying, right? He was the bitch.
He was, yes. And Two
Yeah, he
Face.
was the bitch to Flask, right?
Yeah.
So it was, yeah, it did make sense in the show. Because that sometimes you could see it was like it wasn't Bullock's idea, right? It was just he's going
There's-
along
Yeah.
with
And
Flask's
there's
plan.
times, where Bullock made the Bullock's like, what? Like, look
Yeah,
on his face. Like, he's so like, what, really? But he does it anyway. He goes along with it.
right. Well, I mean, the more we talk about the show, the more I do like it, even though the criticisms and all that stuff, because it's like I see the creative choices with it, and you know, um, by the way, where are we? 14 minutes.
Yeah,
The
we're
thing
almost done.
is, because we didn't get into, yeah, she talks about uh Alfred and the Penguin. Okay, yeah, we were there, raising the stakes, best episode. The Two-Face origin, yeah, whatever. I mean, the rest of the review, uh, it's kind of like irrelevant. It does she doesn't she like brings up like the writer of the
Okay.
show, and
So
because it is getting late, and I'm
maybe we'll do Two Face's origin, and we'll get to like, and that's maybe to
yeah,
that's it.
because yeah, the
Random work.
rest.
I'm surprised that in the room, in the writers' room and stuff like that, there wasn't more discussion about like I'm excited that they were trying stuff and are trying stuff, but I'm surprised there weren't a couple of times where they were like, this isn't working, let's course correct. There are, as I said, real consequences on Batman Cape Crusader, which, along with the great film
Yeah.
noir visuals, do make the show really exciting
Yeah.
to watch.
Yeah.
I would say the best, you don't have to watch the episodes necessarily in order, except
you
for like
kinda
towards
do.
the end.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
I
that's
skipped
what
ahead
you're
to the
saying.
Harley Quinn one because I just couldn't wait to see it. And then I was like, it's awful. But, for the most
So,
part,
Yeah, now
you
we
have
know
to-
why you think it's awful too.
You have to watch the episodes before that to know how to
Yeah,
do
to really build. Yeah, she did herself a major disservice by doing that. I don't even know why she admitted to that, because if you skipped ahead, you missed the parts
Yeah,
where she was with Bruce Wayne,
and you also
and
miss the
like
part. Yeah, the
and making that
friendship
connection
Barbara.
that there's
Yeah,
parallels between them.
yeah. She's like you can't just
Yeah, I'm
no
sure she
wonder.
gets that, but it's like, yeah, why do that?
Yep.
It's not like the
They're about
animated
half an hour, but
series.
they're so.
And it's like, so you skipped. Oh, you only need to click.
Yeah, and there's gonna be
Oh,
people who take, because this is another thing too. Like people obviously take her recommendations, but that's a really bad recommendation for the show. And I wouldn't be
there's
surprised if you watched it out of order if you didn't like the show.
like I don't know if we said this on this stream, but last stream. Yes, there are a couple episodes where there's villain of the week, but
Yes.
there's still a narrative to the whole season.
Yeah, there's still like bits and pieces of character
Yeah.
stuff that happens in those Monster
Yes.
of the Week episodes that you need to know for future episodes. So
Like
what she's
like
saying here is bad. This is just bad
for
advice.
example,
Don't do it.
The Clayface episode. Yes, it's villain of the week, but it's to introduce Renee Matoya to us
Right.
and how she's going to play a part. Right, Gentleman Ghost. Yes, it's a villain of the week, but it's to introduce her. Well, it's to continue Harvey Dent winning from Mirror storyline
Right.
with the him offering money and Gentleman Ghost is like, no, I don't take from people like you. He takes from the poor. Right, that's what it is.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's, right, like it's always bits and pieces. Some episodes it's small and some episodes big,
Right.
but they're all part of the same narrative of the season. Okay, let's see.
You won't feel like you're shortchanged at all. They're like really, really good. And the fact that you're going to be able to binge them, I think is fantastic. I watched them in 2 days. And I was falling asleep watching them because I just kept wanting to see what was happening. Even though I had issues with it, I was like, I have to know. So I'd go back and rewatch what I missed. But anyway, I'd say by far and away the best episode is the Clayface episode, which is episode 2.
Oh, you have something to agree with over there. Clayface, pretty good.
I also really liked the Catwoman one, episode 3, as well as all the Easter eggs in episode 8. Batman fans will be rewarded with that one. Also, it feels.
Oh, yeah, get me premium, guys.
Feels very different than a typical Batman story, that episode, which I also thought was nice. I would say that my least favorite episodes were the ones having to do with Harvey Dent's origin story being told yet again. I'm so sick of seeing this thing. It's like Peter Parker's origin story at this point. We know it. Also, they didn't even do a particularly.
Yeah, we know it, but how did they become Two-Face? That's the important thing. And there's more to this than his origin. Okay, I mean that's. I'm sorry, like I disagree with her there. But yeah, the child holding the cape is a Superman trope. Yeah.
Compelling job here. It's not like, oh, I'm tired of watching this, but yet you reinterested me. You're like, oh, the other ones are so much better. So, but I do like the character design for Dent. And I thought that Diedrich Bader, who of course has voiced Batman himself, was an excellent choice in showcasing the two very different sides of Harvey. He did a nice job. One thing I also want to address are the writers on the show. So Bruce Timm, Matt Reeves, and J.J. Abrams have been getting all the attention. Even though they're executive producers, their names go first in the credits, which I thought was wild. Love the opening credits, though, by the way. I watch them every single time. I never cannot be beat. Who, of course, dad with female.
So the writers who did Last of Us Season 2 wrote the script for this season? Or are they coming on to next season? Blinded?
Say that again. Sorry, I was distracted.
Writers for Last of Us Season Part 2 wrote the script for this season?
No. The writer who wrote The Last of Us Part 2 did write for HBO show, but she's not. I mean, that's the reason why she got hired for The Last of Us Part 2, but she's not coming back. What's his name? Who writes the Craig Mazin? I think is the only writer, or maybe like staff writers writing the show. But yeah, she's not coming back. And also, I mean, the thing is, I don't. Grace Randolph is again. She did something. Her talking about The Last of Us Part 2. When she's explicitly said that she doesn't know anything about The Last of Us Part 2,
well,
she doesn't even know why the controversy. A lot of people do not attribute that woman. I don't know her name. Sorry, but they don't attribute her as being the problems of The Last of Us Part 2. A lot of the criticisms, again, even though I like The Last of Us Part 2, sorry, but hold on, wait, let me finish this. It's Neil Druckmann people go after, not her.
Yeah.
So I don't know why she's even bringing this up.
My
Like we
advice.
don't know what she really contributed
My
to the
advice:
game.
don't go to Grace for video games because she admits she's not very knowledgeable about
No,
them.
she says she doesn't know the story of The Last of Us Part Two, but yet she's like, whose calling card would be The Last of Us Part Two? Yeah, a lot of people don't like The Last of Us Part Two, but it's still one of Sony's highest selling
Game.
games. They're making a season two that you're supposedly excited for. That's
And
based
just
on said game.
and the pictures just come out just like an hour or two ago. They just
Well,
released.
it was like a teaser trailer almost,
Yeah,
but not really.
yeah,
We got it before with the first season, but yeah, we saw like moments that happen in the game. Uh,
yeah.
in this, the shots that we
We're
saw. We
convinced.
also we also see Jeffrey Wright who plays Isaac, which by the way, Isaac is not
We see
really in the first part of The Last of Us Part Two. He's more in the latter half.
we see
So
we
that means
see
he's gonna appear more in the show then.
we see Dina. We see
Yeah,
Abby.
Dina.
Yeah, kid
No, we
Abby.
don't see Abby. We
Yeah,
we
there's
don't see Abby
pictures.
in the trailer. Oh, you mean
Oh,
there's pictures that came
yeah,
out?
yeah.
Oh, not in the trailer that we saw. I didn't see
No,
the pictures.
there's
Sorry.
pictures of Kid and Deborah's Abby.
Okay,
Little
I'm gonna go
Abby.
see that. I didn't see that because that's not
Yeah.
in the trailer. We see Tommy, probably the part where Joel ends up dying because you see a bunch of zombies are infected coming after them. You see some parts of
Well, I know.
Ellie in the subway, which is like when they're in Seattle.
I
But I
think
didn't see Abby in the trailer.
I think I know what scene you see Joel dies from this one of these pictures.
Let me
I
see the
did see the
pictures.
teaser.
Where's the pictures? I'm not seeing any pictures.
You're gonna discussion film. That's why. I'll send
Well,
you.
if they're on
You
threads.
well, it
They're
probably
on threads, but they don't really post as much. Let me check. No,
here
they didn't post it.
here. Yeah, I can just send you because you could still see tweets.
Yeah, I could still see it. Yeah, just send it to me.
Okay, I sent you it. Just look on the Discord. Um, Tony. Well, Tony, how are
Well,
you,
well,
man?
well.
Uh,
Oh, he's in
yeah,
the chat?
you see
Well,
it?
well, well. What's up, Tony?
You see in Discord? There's Abby right here.
Oh, that is Abby. Oh shit, I
Yeah.
forgot. Yeah. Okay, yeah, she was in the trailer. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
It looked
And
she looks like Bella Ramsey. That's who I thought that was.
oh,
But
really?
yeah, I mean I fucked up because yeah, that you see the snow and that's the opening of the game. Well, yeah.
You know the part where you see Bella Ramsey's character. Look, she's like yelling. I think it's
Right.
Joel's death scene. She's yelling to
Yeah.
God. I'm
Yeah, but
convinced.
yeah, this
Yeah,
scene she's crawling under the fence. Yeah, that happens in the game. The
yeah.
runners breach the fence and so you have to climb through them, right? Or climb under them, I should say. But yeah. I mean, yeah, what was in the trailer was like if you play the game, you're going to be like, yeah, you
This
know
comes out
exactly what's
next
going
year,
on.
right? You know that
Yeah,
means.
the only thing that's not in the game is what's that actress who's talking to Joel? She's not in the game. We don't even know who she's playing.
Oh, you know next. You know that means we gotta do our reviews again for the show.
Yeah, I'm curious to see who she is. My guess is there was a character who was cut from The Last of Us Part Two. That was Joel's girlfriend, and she was supposed to be in the beginning of the game quite a lot, and we never saw her. So I do wonder if they're going to add because that's the thing, right? That would if we saw her, I think her name was ah, damn. It starts with a G. Damn,
Mm,
damn, 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 damn. Let me look it up. Let me look it up. But
yeah.
she is Joel's girlfriend who's supposed to appear in the beginning of the game. And she was going to be at the dance where you see Joel, or not Joel, Ellie and Dana dancing. And then the drunk guy, like, attacks them, right? Because he's like, "What?
Mm,
Why are you guys lesbian and shit?" And he's drunk. Because that scene happens, and then you meet that character again, and he's like, "I'm sorry, and I didn't mean to do that. I was just drunk and shit." But yeah, the girlfriend was supposed to have like a bunch of scenes where you interact with her, and she was also supposed to be She was supposed to give the eulogy of Joel, and you're supposed to be at the
Yeah.
grave, and that ended up all getting cut. And I say that they should have never cut that because a lot of people wanted to see Joel in the game before he dies, and actually see like what his life was, because he was supposed to be a totally different person after the events of the first game, but you never
But
get to see that.
this is five
You
years
only you only
after.
read about it.
So it's
Yeah,
5 years. Right? Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it is 5 years.
Or yeah. Blind. Yeah, it's 12:30. I think we should end it here. I think we did enough on Grace for tonight.
Yeah.
Nothing outrageous by Grace, in my opinion. Nothing. Just stuff I
Yeah,
can
nothing
agree with her.
outrageous.
Stuff I agree with
Yeah, just
her.
minor things, minor
Yeah,
things.
minor disagreements and stuff, but I think she's. I think this review of hers. I think she's nailed it most of it. Um,
Yeah, pretty much.
yeah. See, we're not. Yeah, you might notice people who do a lot of Grace streams, maybe Drunk Camp, but Drunk Camp hasn't been active for a while. We're not. We
Mhm.
don't bash everything we see. We're just fair. Okay.
Yeah, we're fair.
Yeah. Okay. We'll,
We also know
the,
the audience loves seeing Grace Randolph, so we got to play to that.
yeah.
I mean, you have Finbar in here calling her a MILF, so she's not even a mother.
Finbar calling any woman a MILF. He likes to joke around that way, right, Tony? If you're
Oh
still
man,
there. All right.
pretty much.
Blinded. And once again, he did this on the other stream, but go ahead, promote.
Yeah, you can follow me, Blind and Braille, YouTube and Threads. The
Yeah.
at is right on the screen where you see it, at Blind and Braille. Just type
Yeah.
that in YouTube and you'll find it.
All
Or
right.
Threads, you'll find it. Yeah.
So tomorrow I'm gonna upload some Last of Us season 2 pictures and maybe take a little pick at the teaser, two at the same time.
Oh yeah, I was
Maybe.
gonna look for the girlfriend's name.
Yeah,
Look for that.
I'm gonna make a video on that tomorrow. All right. Next Friday we're gonna look at the Disney Showcase Entertainment stream from 7 to 9 p.m. Eastern. That's when Marvel, Star Wars, and all the other stuff Disney's gonna have announcements for movies and TV shows. Marvel, Lucasfilms are not having like a specific
I
time.
found her name.
Who is it?
Sorry to cut you off. Her name is Esther.
Esther. Okay.
Yeah, that is the character who I think Joel is talking to.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. So Friday. Yeah. So Marvel and Lucasfilms are not or Pixar. They're not having like an hour to themselves. Like their own. It's just part of the overall Disney's presentation. But Marvel Animation is having their own special hour panel on the next day. That and there'll be some streams in between here and then. But yeah. Last of Us will be uploaded tomorrow for season 2 on HBO. Thank you. Like, share, subscribe, and comment below. Take care, guys. Bye.
Peace.
And have a good night's sleep wherever you are.